Live from Bristol, this is the Bristol 4th of July Parade, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. ABC6's coverage is presented by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses. And now, your hosts, John DeLuca, Christina Myers, Doreen Scanlon, and Jeff DeNoyer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bristol. So glad you could join us, and your timing is perfect.
Impeccable.
Perfect. The Bristol Color Guard is making its way down Hope Street, right here at our spot at Hope and Church, and it is a fantastic. I just got goosebumps, guys. Full confession here. Here it is.
It's here.
It's right here. It's awesome.
4th of July, everybody. Woo-hoo.
We're so glad you could spend some of your day with us. We hope that you're watching continuously, but if not, if you're going in and out, that's fantastic too. Enjoying time with family and friends, cooking out, enjoying your time. Again, somebody walking through the middle here. Thank you so much. It's a very popular spot.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
They want to be in on
It's
it.
the 4th of July. Right. Everybody's in a good mood. But anyway, Bristol just came by, the police color guard and the police chief, Josh Canario, and we're so glad for everything that they do to serve us here in Bristol. But what a spot. What a place. Happy 4th of July. And the sense of patriotism I'm feeling right now is just incredible.
Oh, you can already hear the applause coming down the street, right?
Everybody knows this is it. This is the beginning. It's almost like a little bit of a hush, too, though, right? When it first starts, you can just feel that everybody's like, oh, here we go.
That's what we've been waiting for.
Exactly.
Yeah. We were in chaos before, and now everyone's focused and
Well, it's funny
attentive.
because you saw everybody, as soon as you heard the sirens coming, the people who were walking on the streets and stuff, they're sprinting back to their spots.
I got to get back. Exactly. No more talking to my friends down the street.
No.
We got to get
to
there.
your spot.
This is like a step back in time. Every single year on the 4th of July. Think about, obviously, we're here for the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. But you think about the Revolutionary War veterans marched in this parade. Civil War veterans marched in this parade. World War I, obviously, veterans marched in this parade. World War II, Korea, Vietnam. We have some members from Vietnam here today as well, and Iwo Jima, which is something we're looking forward to, and the Korean War as well. But the slice of history you get, you think about the Declaration of Independence, you think about the 56 gentlemen who signed that, and you think, that's a big deal in the sense that the risk they took back then to do it. We know about Ben Franklin, we know about Thomas Jefferson, we know about the Adams. What about the 2 Rhode Islanders that signed it?
So
Stephen Hopkins, William Ellery, 2 Rhode Islanders signed that. Just fantastic.
It really is.
So that's an interesting perspective, John. Thank you for that. That really is so true. You think about that. Wow, you really, the steep in history that we are.
It really is.
Yeah. We should mention the Bristol Fire Department coming by. Chief DeMello of the fire department
Getting
coming
applause
by there.
right here.
Taking a look right now.
Standing ovation, a little mini standing ovation over there for the Bristol Fire Department.
So much responsibility that they've.
Is Chief DeMello over there?
There's a little lull here. That happens sometimes.
Also stops and starts. And the stops and starts in the sense that police officers and the firefighters set the tone.
Yep.
But then not everybody keeps up with their tone. So their tone, they're police officers, they're ready to go. You know,
they know how to do that well.
We know firefighters are ready to go at any second.
Yeah.
But then the chief marshal's crew is coming up, and they have a drum corps performing in front of them.
Yes,
Jersey
they
Shore,
do.
I think, is the
Leading
one in
the
front of them.
Yep.
And of course, the town crier will be making his way down, who has a very important job.
Yeah. He's got to call the
Official
attention.
announcement.
He does that. He
Yeah.
makes announcements, but he also introduces the patriotic speaker, which is a big deal. And we talked about the importance of the patriotic speaker. And I always reflect on this. 1785, folks. That's why it's the 232nd. Reverend Henry Wright.
Yeah.
Not many traditions can hold on for that long.
I know.
You know, and keep growing and get bigger each year, better each year. It doesn't happen all the time.
Even during the Civil War, they had this parade.
Couldn't stop them.
They didn't have Civil War. Obviously, Civil War soldiers weren't in it, but they had veterans from the War of 1812 take part in it.
Right.
Wow.
They've always done something to mark the day. Some years there wasn't actually the parade that we see today.
Right.
They had different ways of celebrating, but there's always been some sort of marking of the 4th of July here in Bristol.
And they can hang their hat on the longest continuous 4th of July celebration every single year.
Yep. Oh.
There's the Ladies Auxiliary coming down the street now.
The other thing that I think holds people up is they get, you know, there's so many people waving to them and wanting to stop and see them, especially if you're from Bristol, you have friends and family here, or maybe even from out of town that came into town. I think that kind of hangs them up a little bit sometimes, too. You want to be able to say hi to all these people you know.
Well, sure, and the crowd's been here since midnight, a lot of them. They want their due. They want their wave back.
I slept here for this.
And what a perfect day. Can we talk about that for a second here?
It really is just gorgeous. The sun shining, not a cloud in the sky.
This is a Chamber of Commerce type day. We've sat out here before. I know Doreen and I have been here, and it's been roasting hot, stifling hot, 90-plus degrees.
Crazy
Or a
humidity.
threat of rain,
Pouring rain.
unbelievable humidity. But no, this is just gorgeous. This is like Southern California. I like to say that all the time to Jeff Denoyer about when Rhode Island is like San Diego and Anaheim. This is what it is right here. It's perfect.
Yeah, it is, and we have the beautiful view of the water down here too. We just have the best spot. We're on our porch.
And
our
there's
beautiful
the breeze
porch
on
on the parade
cue.
route.
The
we
ocean breeze.
We can't have asked for it any better. We're just on cue. The breeze comes in right off the water.
Well, that's the kind of power we have here at ABC6.
Yes,
Pretty powerful.
This is it. It's what happens when you sit at Hope in Church.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, you have all kinds of abilities you didn't even know you had.
It really is the best spot because, of course, we've got the church right here, too, for the time. What time is it? Oh,
Ding.
Right on
it's 11. Thank you, church.
Let us know.
Appreciate
Thank you very
that.
much.
Yeah.
It's time for the parade to start.
Yeah. It really is such a great spot here, too, because, like you said, we are so close to the water, so we do sort of get that cross breeze. And then there's all those folks that are farther, earlier down the route. They're right on the water as well. That's another great vantage point to check it out.
Well, that's the thing.
So many great
2.5 miles long. We come down Hope and we take a quick left, or as my friends in Cranston say, we bang a left.
Bang a left.
We come up High Street and we end at the courthouse. 2.5 miles, and everywhere you go, that way, you see red, white, and blue, and you see a lot of people stuffed into their spots.
And it's just so beautiful too when we talk about the history of Bristol, the history of this parade. So much of the architecture here in Bristol too has that historic feel to it.
Really
You know,
does.
like you said, it's almost like you're transported back in time each time you come here.
It's true. You know what, too? You can't get lost in the parade route.
No.
It's the red, white, and blue
That's right.
stripe. So, fun fact, they use 100 gallons of paint to paint it, and then one year they went too far. And people got lost.
Whoops. There's a town crier.
Oh, nice.
Michael Riley.
Yes. His grandfather was the town crier once.
Yes, this is a legacy town crier right here, Mr. Riley. He begins each parade by calling to order the patriotic exercises, which we talked about is very important. Chief Marshal #1, patriotic speaker #2. I don't even want to say #2. It's like 1 and 1A
Right.
in terms of importance here in the parade.
Yeah, so he'll make any sort of announcements that need to be made as he goes.
I'd love to know
nice.
what he's announcing.
And here we're getting our first.
Have a good time. That's what he's announcing.
Yes, that's a good speech.
And he's also saying, here comes Jersey Surf from
Jersey Surf. I
Camden
said Jersey
County,
Shore,
New
but this is
Jersey.
Jersey Surf.
Jersey Shore.
From
That's a
Mount
different
Hope.
thing,
That is.
John.
Yeah.
That's a little different.
That is.
This is our
DJ
first
Polly
drum
D
corps.
from Johnson.
Oh, beautiful flags.
I like those colors, too.
No kidding.
Their executive director is Robert Jacobs. They were founded in 1990. A bunch of band instructors got together. They wanted to say, let's have something year-round for band members. So they did. They came up with this. Let's listen in.
This guy in the back.
Look at him go. Now he knows how to have fun.
Yeah, is it girly of me to say I really like their uniforms?
Not at all.
They are
The wave
beautiful.
on their uniforms is really cool.
Great
I like
colors.
that a lot.
Really great colors.
You know who else looks great? Our Chief Marshal.
Oh, look at them. Hi.
Here
Happy
they
4th of
are.
July.
Happy 4th,
Is
our
Gail
two
and Lisa?
Chief Marshals, Gail
Lisa
Perla
Sinkowitz?
and Lisa Sinkowitz.
Happy 4th.
Sisters.
Happy 4th.
This is the first time that two sisters have shared the role of Chief Marshals. As we mentioned earlier today, as we were doing our pre-show for the parade, they grew up here in Bristol. Family have deep, deep ties here. They started Gills, and now the girls run the store as well. So it's a whole family affair.
Yeah, they were really emotional about being a part of this and having this role and getting to head it all up and really just wave to their friends and family and experience that emotion.
Well, they know they join an exclusive list. People who, since dating back to 1826, when they started the Chief Marshal role,
Yep.
and they're now on that list forever and ever.
That they are.
And they were thinking of their moms and dad that kept saying how emotional they would get, as you mentioned. but one of the traditions that Mom had was spaghetti and clams. So at some point today, they said they're going to get together and have spaghetti and clams as they always did with their mom.
See, all about the tradition.
And the people you're seeing now are some of their family and friends.
And they have a lot of family and friends.
They're all here.
There's some
Yeah.
very
Go to
popular
the cookout
folks.
later.
Yeah, they have a viewing stand set up on High Street for all their folks that
And
want
now
to sit down and enjoy the rest of the day.
Was it Gail's husband who had been a chief marshal with his brother, or with his sister?
With his sister.
With his sister.
Yeah,
So
there's been brother sister, but never sister.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but now they have both of those. Her husband was with his sister, and now she's with her
Right.
sister. Just a really neat family tie there too.
Yeah. All about girl power in
That's
this year's
right.
parade.
Now, Gail had mentioned that it really hit her during the Flag Day ceremony. You know what this, obviously she knows the importance of the Chief Marshal, but being in that moment and seeing everybody there and seeing the flag going up on the pole, and she realized, oh wow, this is real, this is happening. It was, she said it was overwhelming.
Yeah, it is an overwhelming experience. You grow up in Bristol, it's sort of almost out of body, and they find out about it so early, and then they have to keep it a secret.
Right.
We're not allowed to tell anybody.
Right, and Flag Day really kicks off the 2-week-long celebration, and they have so many activities
everywhere.
that they need to do. It's almost like I think there needs to be more than one of them in order to get to everything.
Which is probably good that they had the sisters.
That's probably
this year.
true.
Very true.
All right, we've got so much going on here in Bristol. We're so glad you could be with us, but we're going to take one very quick break and be right back.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Bushman Lumber. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Bushman Lumber.
Welcome back, everybody, to a beautiful day here in Bristol.
That breeze just came right through. It was perfect.
It seems to come in right on cue
I
every
know.
time, doesn't it?
That's the advantage of having a porch.
Yes, our little porch on the parade
Our
route
fancy
today.
Dan sets.
Yes.
Fancy.
Thank you to Boschman Lumber and I Green for this great
Beautiful.
set
They
today.
did a great job.
It does feel very homey.
It does.
Like you have
We're
family
just hanging
over.
out.
Yeah,
We're just hanging out
come
with our
sit
flowers.
with us on the porch. You need some sweet tea
Oh, there you go.
All right.
or
good.
something else.
Breaking out that accent.
Or something else. I don't know where the accents come in. Sitting in the sun for an hour, that'll do it to you.
I don't know. He promised me cocktails. I don't know what happened to that.
I
In
told you.
due
that.
time.
Cooler on the side.
There is a group of people, folks, that starting tomorrow they're going to get back to work for next year's celebration, and that is our 4th of July committee.
It's funny when we were talking to them and we were saying, oh, you know, you guys work on this parade 365 days a year. And then actually Fran, she corrected us and said, well, no. Actually, we take Christmas off, so
Right.
you can say 364 days.
Fair enough. We'll let them have Christmas.
I guess.
And there really is a lot of truth to that. And there's so much that goes into it. We see it here and it goes off, and we don't get anywhere near the level of appreciation for how much work goes into this to make it what it is. The
It's so
concert
much.
series with Ray Levy and of course organizing with the Chief Marshals and all the festivities that go along and Flag Day. And I just want to go down the list here. Donna Falcoa, the General Committee Chair, Fran Donald, Vice Chair and Parade Chairman, Dudley Halligan, the Treasurer,
We're
Deb
seeing
Rainey, and Maria Ferreira, the Corresponding Secretary.
This is the Patriotic speaker we're seeing right here, Colonel Andrew Drake. A nice red Corvette.
He could go fast if he wanted to, but
He
he's going to
definitely
style.
could.
He's
Listen to that
styling right
engine
now.
go.
That sounds
That's a
awesome.
We
Cali.
should mention he's been stationed in China, Japan, South Korea, Iraq, Hawaii, and all throughout the United States as an intelligence officer. So we thank you so much,
Very
Colonel
important
Drake.
role, the historic role, really, if you want to think about it. Which started in 1785, that Patriotic speaker, now cruising by.
Yep.
And a fancy souped-up Corvette. That's not just a Corvette, it's a
yeah.
Callaway Corvette, which means it's extra beefy with more engine power and all kinds of cool appearance packages on it as well, but it looks great.
We also want to mention the other red convertible is Robert Spatrito, our 2017 Hattie Brown recipient. Yep. Coming by.
This is our button contest winner here in the yellow car. This is Forrest Rodriguez.
We met
We
Forrest.
spoke with him last
I
night.
see his mom next to her taking plenty of pictures.
Yes.
He won last year.
I
He
know
did.
it. And he has a twin brother who's also won twice. So now we were talking last night about this is the big competition because who's going to get that coveted third win between the two boys.
Little
And they have some
sibling rivalry.
amazing designs. 15 years old now.
This started in 1952, oh, by the way, the button contest. And it's fun. It's for the kids to get involved, but it's also a fundraiser for them as well.
Right.
Everything they do, almost everything they do is through private donations. So a big part of that is buying that button for $1.
Right.
And Forrest is one of the folks that helps with that.
And the design on this year's button is a patriotic image. It depicts soldiers saluting the Statue of Liberty, surrounded by fireworks and 50 stars to represent each state.
We told Christina last night that he was inspired when he went to New York City.
Right, and he visited the Statue of Liberty, was inspired by that, and then of course wanted to include the soldiers on there because he recognizes that this is really what today is about, and he wanted to make sure that that was really front and foremost for people as they remember and celebrate this holiday.
Take a little lesson from the kiddos today,
We have another band coming.
That we do. This is the Mystic Highland Pipe Band from Old Mystic, Connecticut. They actually started out as a group of men who worked at Electric Boat in Groton, and they thought of the idea of forming a band.
That's fun.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so they've kind of gone all over the years. They've been to New Hampshire, New York, and they're really one of New England's favorite Scottish bands.
Love the Scottish band. I may have to break out my brogue.
Oh,
My Scottish road.
I love this. One of my favorite accents of
do it up,
yours.
Johnny
But it's not
D.
a great day as we listen to the Mystic Highland Pipe Band.
They're dressed in Royal Stuart and Black Watch tartans in true Scottish regimental staple. This is their 17th time in the parade. Let's take a listen to them coming down the street here. We're also seeing a few of the town officials here from Bristol. There's a new town administrator, and that is Stephen Contenti. We also have Lou Cirillo, the town clerk, and he was a chief marshal in 2013.
I remember Lou?
Nathan Caloro, town council chairman. Tim Sweeney, town council vice chairman. Mary Perella, the sister-in-law of one of
Gail
the
Perella,
chief marshals.
yes.
There's so
And
many
she
ties.
was a chief marshal in 1995. We also want to mention Ed Stewart and Andrew Tiska as well.
And then we have Warren Town Council is coming down the line here.
That's nice that they can take part in this as well. Bristol and Warren kind of tease each other. They have friendly rivalries over the years, but that's nice that Warren could be a part of this as well.
Very true. Good gesture. We have Joseph DiPasquale as the president, Carrie Cronin, the vice president, Christopher Stanley as a councilman, as we'll also see here, John Hanley, a councilman, and Stephen Thompson, also a councilman. It's a good showing from Warren today.
It sounds like the Governor's Own 88th
That
Army
it
Band
is.
from East Greenwich.
There they are.
They've been around for a few years, Doreen.
That they have.
1892.
Yeah, just a few years there, John.
And there's part-time National Guard soldiers.
They're under the
Who
direction
perform in here?
of Chief Warrant Officer Todd Gray. So you know what's coming. If that was the Governor's Own 88th Army Band, you know what's coming shortly, guys.
The Governor?
That is correct.
What do I win for that, Doreen? Do I get
That was
something?
pretty
Well,
good.
you know, we talked a little bit about the girl power here today, John.
A lot of girl
Sorry
power?
to tell you, but so we've got 2 women as chief marshals.
Yes.
And of course, we have our new colonel of the state police.
True.
First female colonel.
That's right, and of course, our female governor. And then we've got a ship out here in the harbor, and guess who's in charge over there? Another woman. I'm just
Yeah, so-
saying.
I'm
What
going
do
to take
you- I
off.
know.
Hey,
Come
you
on.
guys can take the
Yep.
rest, and I'll just...
You betcha.
No, this is fantastic. It's great. It really is. It's great, and hopefully we can chat with the governor. And
Yeah, I see her far off in the distance there.
Rhode Island State Police is, as Doreen mentioned, now being led by Colonel Anna Sumpico, and her first time.
And here's Governor Raimondo coming down the street right now. She's got her family with her, too. Of course, such a day for family
She
as
has
well.
a beautiful patriotic dress on there with Cece and Tommy.
Oh, and they got the
And the
puppy with
dog.
them. Of course, we noticed that.
Looks like she's enjoying the day as well.
There's the
We're
first
gonna
gentleman
slow
there.
her down. We're going to slow her down and
First
see if we
gentleman.
can catch
Andy.
her
Gonna
for
grab
a
her?
minute.
There's Mr. Governor. Hello, Governor. Happy 4th of July.
Hi, Governor.
First gentleman, Andy Moffat. Hello.
Happy
I think we're trying to chase her down.
No.
She's on a mission.
Now
She's,
moving
I know,
quickly.
look, she's got the power
Forget it.
walk down.
Forget it.
She's going to get her steps in today. She's got her Fitbit on.
Check the Fitbit. Right, and here come some of our other Rhode Island lawmakers.
There's Senator Jack Reed.
Congressman Landman and Congressman Cicilline catching up with a slow
he's
jog
running.
there. Very nice.
They're
Very
power
nice.
walkers this
I
year.
know, everyone's flying by. My goodness.
Senator Reed bravely putting on a suit today.
I know.
Taking the jacket
The
off.
jacket and everything.
Too.
Congressman Langdon
My
as well.
goodness. I know. I think we could have let them go with polos today.
I know. You can relax a little bit. Today it's the 4th of July. The parade as you're walking.
Here we go. We've got Lieutenant Governor McKee coming up here and
Seth Magaziner.
Seth Magaziner as well.
Treasurer Dan McKee's got the
Happy
He's
4th.
in the
Jacket
suit
on as
too.
well.
Hi, gentlemen. Happy 4th. There's something big coming, guys. I
Uh-oh.
see it in the distance.
You can feel the presence coming.
I feel like there's royalty
Oh.
approaching.
Oh, is it the little miss?
Oh, they're making a big entrance on this one. Can
There's
you-
a reason they go at a slow crawl on this float that's approaching.
Oh, yeah, this is the big float
Oh, yeah.
here. Very nice.
They're letting you know they're here with that horn.
Before they get here, let me start to talk about these ladies because there's a lot to talk about with
Yes.
these girls. So our Miss 4th of July, excuse me, is Olivia Borgia. She is 19 years old. She's going to major in nursing at URI. She's a longtime ballet dancer, and she participated in the Little Miss pageant when she was younger. But now that she's Miss 4th of July, she said it's a humbling experience. She sort of feels out of body that she can't believe she is Bristol's Miss 4th of July.
This is something you grow up going to.
Exactly. And then our little Miss 4th of July
Hello,
is
ladies.
Ella. And Ella Peary, and she's 8 years old. She's a second grader at Colt Andrews School. She's so excited that she's got her pageant sisters.
I know.
Said.
She's an only child, and so she was very happy that Olivia is now her pageant bigger sister. Looking beautiful, ladies.
Yeah, the float looks great.
They do a great job every single year.
See, they
Gorgeous
kind of have a little
girls.
porch look, too.
They do. It's a theme.
Right?
It's a theme this year.
Miss 4th of July pageant dates back to 1948. They're on a very exclusive list now.
Mm-hmm. There was one year that they brought out all of the past winners at the pageant. It was pretty neat. They
All
showed
of them.
everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it was fun. So many, because like you said, John, it is like you're part of this elite club of
Right.
people, and it never goes away. Once you're Miss 4th, you're always Miss 4th.
Every year the booklet comes out, you
Yeah.
go right to your name, there it is. It's there for everybody to see.
And the bond that these girls have, obviously, as we just talked about Ella and Olivia, considering themselves to be sisters, you know, so it's kind of like this instant bond. As soon as you meet them, you have this thing in common, and now you'll share that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and they compete in this pageant, but they also do dance numbers and things like that,
Yes.
so they all become
They're all
friends.
talented.
Yeah. We still have a whole lot more to come here
we do.
live in Bristol, so we hope you'll stay with us, but we're going to take a quick break right now.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber.
Welcome back to gorgeous Bristol. Happy 4th of July. Thank you so much for joining us. And I can hear a little, I think another band is coming, the Mount Hope Band. And I love this because it's more than 140 students from both Warren and Bristol. We were talking about the, the two-town little mini rivalry, but this is a band that has students from both towns.
Well, it's because they share the school district,
Right.
so, they got to get along for at least that.
At least for 2.5 miles they do.
Exactly. Exactly. Their mascot is the Huskies. They've done a lot of really big performances, this band, over the years. They've been to Disney, they've been to D.C., they've been to the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade, the Magic Kingdom Parade, but there's nothing like this parade for these boys and girls, and that's because this is their hometown. You know?
And especially not being locals, too. You know what I mean? For them being locals, this is an even bigger deal for
That's
them
a
to
great
be
point.
here.
It
So
really
true.
is. Because
So
you
true.
know they've been here as kids growing up. Their families have been here, and now they're getting to march in it themselves.
Oh, hey, before they come, look who we've got here. We've got the Orange Crate Derby winners.
Nice.
Oh, love
Oh my
this.
goodness, we have to mention, by the way,
Look at
the
these.
first place winner is actually, she already went by us because she was one of the
That's
runners-up
right.
of the Miss 4th of July, Cara Piscinelli.
Piscinelli.
But we want to mention Gaetano McGovern and Bella Clark who won as
They're
well.
great designs. Look at
Yeah.
those.
Those look fast. I don't care what anybody
They
says.
do.
We
Yeah.
get
Oh, I
speeding
like the
tickets with
underwater.
those.
Do you see the cutout
Oh,
Yes.
that's great.
of Cara
She's
Cara,
the
Piscinelli?
that's
other-
cute.
So
the other
cute.
winner. Multi-talented there.
I guess so. I guess so. Now here's the Mount Hope band, the flag squad
Oh,
coming
I
in
like their
first.
sunglasses, the little American flag sunglasses on all the ladies. We got some moves down here.
Yeah, you want to talk about getting your steps in.
I was gonna say, it's one thing to walk the 2.5 miles, but to dance down the
perform,
2.5 miles. Can you imagine these girls are gonna be so tired tonight, but keeping those smiles on,
They're going to sleep well.
so much energy.
Something tells me they have more than a few friends and family along the route today to give them that little extra adrenaline boost coming down.
That's so true, right? As soon as you think like, oh, it's hot, I've been here for a while, you see somebody, a member of your family or a friend, and that's completely going to rejuvenate you and remind you why you're here, having so much fun on Hope Street.
Let's listen to the band for a little bit here. And right on cue, they stopped.
Under the leadership
like,
there
nope.
of Christopher Lambert.
He's from Warren, so talk about hometown,
Yes.
right? Keeping with our theme here of the school district, here's the Bristol Warren Regional School District. Some of the school kids coming here. Even though they're on summer vacation, they're gathering together.
Yeah, this is gathering day for everybody. Reunion day, families get together, friends who haven't seen each other in a while. You mark the calendar down. What does the 4th fall on this year? This year it's a Tuesday. Okay, I'm going to fly in on Sunday. We're going to stay at Nana's house, or
Yep.
we're going to stay at so-and-so's house. And we want to be there at some point along Hope or High Street. As they start at Hope and Chestnut, they go right down Hope, and they take a left at High Street and go back up 2.5 miles. And if you don't know where to go, that's fine. Just follow the red,
Just
white, and
follow
blue
it.
paint.
That's
Yep.
right.
Can't get lost.
And you know who else helps guide these kiddos? The crossing guards. So you see these guys out here in the yellow vest, those are some of the crossing guards from school,
And it's their
as well as
first-
their first student safety
I
dog.
love that.
A little mascot for the crossing guard.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. We also have some of the clergy from here in town as well, from the First Congregational Church, the First Baptist Church, St. Michael's, and St. Mary's. Happy 4th, gentlemen. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July.
So nice.
Such a big part of the community here.
Ooh. Look at this car coming. Beautiful.
Got some members of St. Mary's Parish coming up behind them as well.
Those are some happy girls right there. A lot of smiles. Hello, hello, happy 4th. This gentleman couldn't have any more flags.
Look at
Could
that
he have
outfit.
any more flags, that gentleman? Goodness gracious, that's the
That
spirit.
is great.
Oh, he might be my favorite
Even
so
the
far.
flag socks and shoes, everything.
Very nice. Very nice.
That is the spirit right there.
So everything's all friendly here in Bristol, right? It's the 4th. Maybe you might want to decorate your house a little more than your neighbor, but it's all in good fun. There is actually a contest that takes place here with the floats as well. And so one of the floats that's coming down right now, are you guys ready? Because this one is the winner of Best in Parade.
This is the big one, the big winner.
Yeah, this is the St. Mary's Church float, celebrating America's independence through family. How perfect is that?
Beautiful. We've talked about so much about the family ties here for the parade and everybody who either grew up here and maybe has moved away, but they always come back for the 4th of July parade. There's so much here for the 4th of July that's really about family. So I think that could be it, maybe. That's why. They picked a really good theme.
Yeah, they know how to get the judges' heartstrings, right?
Oh, it's the family picnic. The 4th of July family picnic.
Hello,
This
guys.
is great, seeing some of the history and how people celebrated years ago.
Very nice.
Ladies looking very sharp there.
Oh, yes.
Smart to have the umbrella. A little shade.
Yeah, there was something to that all those years ago, how the ladies would carry an umbrella around.
Oh, no sunburn. You
No.
stay cool.
No, rest assured, John DeLuca, I know I've gotten a couple messages from our viewers. I have sunscreen on.
Yes.
John
Very
helped me
worried.
out with some sunscreens. Thank you to all our
People
viewers.
are concerned.
I have
They
sunscreen
are.
on. Some of this was my fault from Sunday, okay? We'll just get that out there now.
You
and
showed
out
up
of the
with
way.
a sunburn.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I
That's
did.
right.
Yep. Sorry, my bad. But thank you
okay.
for all the concerned people watching at home. I really appreciate it.
It'll turn into a nice golden tan,
Let's
I'm
hope
sure.
so. Let's hope so. I'm a wee bit Irish,
A little
so you know we'll do what we can.
A wee bit. We're so glad you could join us here on the 4th of July. Take a few moments out of your day and your holiday. We're glad to share it with you here at Hope Church and ABC6. I've been a part of this. I had the privilege to be a part of this for many years, and it never gets old. You enjoy it,
doesn't.
you get the goosebumps, you get reinvigorated every single time you come here. You can see why it's a tradition for so many families.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's great because there's always so much that's new, but then also so much that we see people coming back year after
Tradition.
year,
True.
which is great. So it's kind of just enough tradition and just enough that's new.
And the calliope.
Love calliope.
It comes
Yes,
year
the
after year talking about
calliope.
tradition.
I like saying calliope. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I
Calliope.
just
I
like
love
saying
that.
it.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
When did it debut?
Oh.
1856. And what day?
Wow.
July 4th.
Of course.
In Worcester.
You hear some of your guys here, John. The Bristol Blues Baseball Club.
Oh, I love
Bristol's
the Bristol
vintage
Blues.
baseball
Every
team.
year at some
Yep.
point they throw a ball and I try to catch
I was
it.
going to say, where is
It
this
might be
happening?
easier
Come on.
this year.
Oh, they might.
Let's see. We're
Oh,
on
they're
the
playing
porch
with
now.
the. Oh, that little boy
Are they
is
going to miss
playing.
you? They're going
Yeah,
to
you know
skip
what?
you.
They're going
Oh, we have somebody back here, maybe?
flower pot.
Oh, maybe, John. Maybe you might get a shot here.
The jib camera's going to
Let's
get
see.
hit.
Oh,
The
these
flower pot may get
Playing
hit.
with the kids.
How about over here?
You know what, though?
Yeah. Sorry, John.
This goes back to
You've aged out of the system.
No, did I?
Uh-oh.
This goes back to 1864. The Blues.
It's incredible. They call it the gentlemanly game, the way it was meant to be played.
Oh, really? I thought that was golf was a gentleman's game, but apparently baseball was at one time
Apparently.
as well. And the thing that gets me is they threw underhanded.
Right.
If you think about it, that's the smarter way to do it because you save your elbow.
Right.
You save
and
your
no
shoulder.
gloves.
Yeah,
So
that's the
No
other way you
gloves.
have to.
That's true. Can't throw it too
don't want to
hard.
hurt anybody.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more live coverage from the 232nd Bristol 4th of July celebration.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber.
Interesting nugget I had. Actually, I want to give credit first of all before I give you these interesting nuggets that I have. Dave Lehman, former ABC6 anchor back in the day in the 80s and 90s, gave Nick Coit one of his books. That gave it to me to use for some interesting nuggets, and it's loaded with great information. One of the things that I thought was really cool, in 1867, Bristol, the town, asked people to display flags. I'd say that took off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
it worked
they,
out okay.
They took that and ran with it.
You know, talk about old traditions too. The penny farthing bicycle that just went by with Jacob Mosby. The the big wheel.
I
little
love
wheel.
that.
Yeah, that
It's
was
called
just
the
How
penny
hard is
farthing
that to
bike,
ride?
right?
Yeah,
Seriously, how
It's
hard
a
is that to ride?
talent.
that is a skill.
There are some
and
people
in
who can't ride a
flag
regular
shorts.
bicycle.
Just give me the regular bike, I'm fine. That is a skill.
You know, you talk about the fact that you join an elite club when you're Miss 4th of July, but also when you're a Chief Marshal. And we're taking a look at some of the past Chief Marshals coming down the street right now. We got Herbie Moitoso from 1999, waving at everybody.
And the Chief Marshal position started back in 1826. That was also the same year that 27 veterans of the Revolutionary War took part in the patriotic exercises in the parade. Again, the history, don't it? Just
Right.
you say 232nd
In every last moment,
at
right?
every moment. It's just a flashback in time every time.
We have two Chief Marshals in our next car, and that is Ray Cordero and Oriane Lima, Chief Marshals in 2003. And then 2007, Manny Correa coming down the street.
He's taking his own pictures. Taking
And why
pictures of
not?
him taking pictures.
Manny's a journalist. Hey, Manny. Happy 4th.
You know, he writes all these articles about today. It's pretty
And he's got a
amazing
cool
what he
car,
does.
too.
Yeah.
He's going to get some cool shots along the route, too, today.
Hello to Ed Castro
Yes.
coming up next, 2008 Chief Marshal.
And once you're a chief marshal, I don't think you're ever a former chief marshal. It's just like president.
Yeah.
You're always
Yep.
chief marshal.
Chief, how's
That
it going,
was
Chief?
one of the things I was joking with Lisa and Gail. Do you notice everyone in town gives you a little extra cream in the coffee, or hold the door at whatever parking spot you were looking for? You got it. Once
Yep.
you're chief marshal, you get a little
And they
extra.
said yes, right?
They did. They said they definitely noticed. You know,
It
and it's
happens.
true.
It
That's human
happens.
nature. You know?
And it's really neat seeing them all together, too, the chief marshals from past years as well. We have Joe Brito Jr. and Betty Brito. Hello from 2011.
Tony Tex,
Yep.
his wife Jackie.
In 2012. Hello, hello.
Beeping the horn.
There's Tony Tex, always got his hat on. Smart man.
Yeah, very smart.
There's his wife, Jackie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Happy 4th to you, Tony and Jackie.
It's funny, I don't know about you, John, but I always think about all the years gone by that we've talked to these folks about the
Yes.
day and,
Hey,
and
happy
their
4th,
moments
Tony.
and talking about all the things that were important to them as they went down the street.
Hi, Jackie.
Here we got David Barbosa coming up, Chief Marshal 2014.
Hey, he's got a Dells in hand. Now that's a smart man.
Well, he's a Rhode Islander.
Well, we
That's
joked
right.
about that last night when we were at Independence Park. I literally saw a kid come by at 6 quarts of Dells. I don't know how he made it through the crowd, but he did, and he had it. He was holding like a football player. He had it right in here,
He had to protect it moving through that crowd, right?
and you have to eat it fast because it'll melt.
Oh, yeah, especially today.
Last year's Chief Marshal, Oki Felcoa. His wife Donna, of course, General Chair of the 4th of July Committee.
You want to talk about a patriotic
I
house
know.
right
We got
there.
the USA chant coming down.
You know why? That's because they're college kids.
Well, they know how to
chant
get the
in
party
college.
started.
Roger Williams University
I
coming
love seeing
down.
their floats every year.
They do a great job, and that's part of the reason, John, that they won another one of the awards that they gave out today. Most patriotic float here from Roger Williams University, America the Beautiful.
Talk about energy.
So this float is to be showcasing a wide array of historical features and extreme pop-out details of important pieces of American history. Gorgeous float. Definitely most patriotic with the Statue of Liberty on there as well.
Absolutely. They
Is that
have
Abe
an Abe
Lincoln?
Lincoln, Rosie the Riveter.
Very nice.
Want to
Amelia
recognize
Earhart?
they have the float chairs. They're Aaron Durning, Kevin Taratuta, and Jordan Phelan, all class of 2019 at Roger Williams University.
Oh, hey, they had the Boston Tea Party on there too. I didn't see
I didn't
that.
see the Boston Tea Party.
Oh, it's up front.
Oh, yep. Next we have the Providence Police Color Guard coming down. They'll be leading Providence Mayor Jorge Alorza. I can see him waving to the crowd back there.
See, he went cash. He did the
Well,
polo and shorts.
He understands.
Yeah. He
The
was
2.5
on it.
mile walk is no problem for Mayor Lorza. Big into working out,
That he is.
biking. I'm sure he's counting his steps. He's got his exercise tracker on at some point. Happy 4th, Mayor.
Happy 4th, everybody. Have a great day today.
He's having a good time out there.
And he's going to get back tonight. He's got his responsibilities don't end on this 4th of July. He's going to go back
right.
to Providence for their 4th of July fireworks, which are phenomenal, by the way, over Indian Point Park.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's such a beautiful spot.
It's a beautiful
too.
spot, and if you don't, you probably need to get there now at Indian Point Park, but there are other spots along the way you can get to. Certainly, you can go to Allen's Ave if you had to.
Well, what I like about that spot too is it's nice and open, so you can actually see it from kind
Yes.
of further as well. You know, so it gives more people a vantage point.
From
which is
East
nice.
Providence, you can see
Right.
it from
Yeah.
Cranston, you can see it. If you have a clear shot of the bay, you can probably see it from even down at East Greenwich and Warwick, just looking up. You
That's
get a
so
nice
neat,
spot.
too, that we have these different nights of fireworks that you get to go and see different fireworks shows
Right,
every night if you want.
Well, we were
Yep.
talking about that too, because this was kind of like a longer July 4th
Yeah.
weekend as well, because of it falling on a Tuesday. So you had so many nights to go and partake in these different events.
It's true. It's true. We've got the cadets here coming down from Allentown,
Doing some of their
Pennsylvania.
tricks.
They're regular story, aren't they?
They are.
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen them a couple of times.
They travel, this band. 14,000 miles this summer as they go from town to town performing. And when we listen in, you'll be able to tell that these folks are seasoned, extremely talented. We will listen in just a second when I get a little bit closer.
Yeah, they told us they're traveling over 14,000 miles this summer.
Wow.
Heading all over the place under the direction of George Hopkins.
They're in high demand.
Here we go.
Beautiful. Oh, here's another high energy group running down.
It's because they're college kids. What did I say?
And they're college athletes.
Not just any athletes.
That's right. These are our URI basketball team.
The A10 champions.
That's right.
Guys. Coach Dan Hurley.
Oh, they're
on
giving us
with
a
the
little
cheerleaders.
dance over there.
You think they know the cameras are on them?
No.
Definitely not showing off at all.
They have reason to celebrate. There's the Ram,
Absolutely.
who's earning his money today.
Very proud of them.
They're chanting Rhody, Rhody, Rhody.
They should be proud. They should enjoy
Very
it.
nice.
It's a great 2.5-mile walk for these kids. They won the A10 tournament. Had some struggles this year. They got healthy at the right time. They got a lot of
Yes.
confidence, and they got hot at the right time. A10 tournament, take it into the NCAA tournament. They win a game, and then
There's Coach Hurley there right ahead of the trolley.
where's Coach?
Oh,
He's a
there
little
he is.
guy.
I was
He's kind of
wondering
blending
where
in.
Coach Hurley
Yeah.
was.
All right.
Yeah. Nice
There's
coach.
Coach
He's getting
Hurley.
a couple of handshakes from the crowd, and why not? He just signed on to stay around, so we got to, build up that. We appreciate that he's sticking
Well,
around.
he's a hot commodity. Every single
Exactly.
year, as soon as the URI season ends,
Oh,
his
yeah.
name pops up as job openings, is under consideration, and why not? He's successful everywhere he goes.
He's sticking around, so we're happy about that. A couple familiar faces coming down. next.
Recognize them.
They've got to go really slow, but then they also, this is where the police security detail really comes
Yes.
in to keep the kids from running out in the street. Got to keep the kiddos safe.
They just want a hug.
Yeah.
Like the fire truck, too.
Yeah, no kidding. They've got a nice ride.
It's a nice antique. It's a juggler. I'm always impressed by jugglers. The pressure, because one thing goes, it's all over.
Oh, is this
That's
Jenny?
it.
Jenny the juggler.
From Cambridge.
Very nice. She's trying to get the crowd going here. Wow, she just got that started with her foot. That was pretty
That's what I'm
impressive.
talking about. That's the
Wow.
skill set that, how
That's
many people
one thing
can do
I
that?
cannot-
I can juggle 2 items at a time.
Can you really? I can't even do
2,
that.
not 3.
No.
There's
See,
Jenny.
even the 2, I don't even think I can.
Hey, hello to our postal service.
Jenny.
Jenny.
We let the postal guys have the day off so they could come in the parade today.
Yeah, what is it? Through rain, sleet, or snow? But if there's a parade, we need to
coming.
be in the Bristol 4th of July parade. Can't hold anybody back from this parade.
Nope.
Oh, I see Cuppy coming down the line. Dunkin' Donuts Cuppy, their mascot.
There he is.
Now, how many people
Iced
at this
coffee
parade do you
sounds
think
pretty
would
good
want
right
that
now.
size iced coffee today, too?
They could jump into it.
May do the
Just
frozen
dive right in.
one.
Wow.
Frozen one?
You're onto something here. Ooh, a frozen
You're
one.
talking about cool out kind
Oh, yeah. Let's do it up.
You're dropping some hints, Doreen. Strong hints.
Nobody's catching on,
I
though.
think these are good ideas. There's something there.
Well, Dunkin' Donuts is one of our coverage sponsors, and Cardi's our presenting sponsor, and we thank them so much, and the commercials that we have, and the thanks that we also give for our set today, the porch on the parade route.
All right.
iGreen set, Bosham and Lumber, and Leo's Restaurante. We thank you for taking care of us today. But this is the reason we want to show you the parade, but obviously we need our sponsors to help us do that. And it does cost money for us and for everyone else involved, but it's just a small price to pay, I think, for bringing this
It's
parade.
so much fun.
You know, there's somebody here who might be enjoying the parade a little more than us today, guys.
Oh.
And that is our sports director, at least for the next couple of weeks, Ken Bell. This is a bit of a swan song for Ken Bell. Hello there, Ken.
I am having such a great time. This is I think there are more people here than I can ever remember in this parade. It's been fantastic. And it gives me a great opportunity to say thank you. It's been 35 years at 6, 48 years in the business, and I've been having a microphone on for a long time. 48 years, that's enough. Got grandkids, got a mom in Colorado to pay attention to, and my friendships with you continue forever. Thank you.
Hey, Ken, as you ride along in your last parade here, any feelings of nostalgia as you go through?
You know, I miss Buddy Cianci. Actually, I really do, because when Buddy was behind us or in front of us, you know, he just brought out the best in the crowd. It was great. And Senator Pell in that white suit he used to wear, I miss that too. But this has to be one of the highlights in the entire country, this parade. The way people respond, everybody's so happy. It's wonderful.
It's true.
Happy 4th of July to you.
Happy 4th year.
Happy
Who's that
4th.
with you, Ken? Who's that guy next to you?
This is Nick Coit.
Oh, Nick
Oh,
Coit.
who's that? Huh.
He's the future sports director at ABC6, and for some reason he's wearing this lousy Washington Nationals hat.
Oh, come on, Nick.
You know, hey, fashionable to say the least. Yeah.
There you go. Go Sox.
Nicky Coit of Plymouth
Sox.
Coits. Ken, thank you so much. Of course, we have you for another month, as Doreen said, but thank you so much for stopping by, and congratulations on what will be a fantastic retirement.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Same here.
Love you too, Ken.
All right.
Enjoy the ride.
Thank you.
Take care. Happy 4th, guys.
I don't know if more people showed up because of the nice weather or because they knew that it was Ken's last ride
Say
before his
goodbye to Ken.
retirement.
I don't think people believe it, though. You know?
It's true. It is tough to accept. Even I'm like, I can barely look at Ken right now.
Yeah.
It's not real to me yet,
I
to
know.
be honest. I interned with Ken Bell.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, go back. You want to go back?
Wow.
I interned with Ken Bell. He helped me make my first resume tape.
No.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there. He's like, all right, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. So I go,
What better
let me tell you
teacher?
about the Boston Bruins and the New England Patriots. And he's like, okay, well, you need to do this a little bit better. He's giving me some guidance. All these years later, here we are saying goodbye to Ken.
Ken,
Just
one of the
incredible.
nicest people
Really
you'll
is.
ever meet.
You know, that's an overused thing. People say that. It may or may not be true. It really is in this case.
Oh, yes.
You don't hear people say a bad word about Ken.
Absolutely. Hey, I got to say hi to my meteorologist,
Is
Chelsea
Kelly here?
Priest.
Is that
my,
Elizabeth
my
Ann?
buddy on Good Morning Providence.
There's Elizabeth Ann.
Elizabeth Tufts. Hello,
Looks like she
hello,
was just
lady.
going to jump out at us.
She might.
Hi.
Liz has got Lizzie.
Where's the selfie stick, girls? I thought they were going to have that
that's
going.
right.
Selfie.
Yeah. Oh, they're having a good time there, guys.
Oh, look at this Monroe Dairy. Their little dairy truck.
The Marching Milkmen.
They are one of our sponsors this year for our parade coverage, so thanks to them as well, making it possible for us to be out here bringing you the parade live. In case you can't make it out here to Bristol, this is really the next best thing.
It really is. And you're in your home, you're grilling out, maybe you're going into your pool, whatever it is, you're with family and friends. Come in and out of our coverage. We appreciate it so much. You're spending a little bit of your day with us here on the 4th.
I love the antique Monroe Dairy truck as well. You know, it's really pretty neat. Refrigerated delivery.
These are the Marching Milkmen. I like the black and white spotted dresses as well. I see what they did there.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Those Marching Milkmen, they're established in 1881. They've been doing it for a long, long time.
Wow.
I'd love to know the story behind that.
How that
How they
started.
came around.
You know,
Yeah.
like, well, let's.
We need something
Maybe
else
somebody
to do.
was just tapping on bottles. You know what I mean? Like
Oh.
ding, 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 ding. And,
Yeah,
hey,
with,
that
like,
sounds
different
pretty good.
levels
Yeah,
of-
you start
yeah.
hops. I'm just spitballing here. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more live coverage from the 232nd Bristol 4th of July celebration.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber.
Welcome back to our porch on the parade route here at Hope and Church, along with Christina Myers and Doreen Scanlon. I'm John DeLuca. So glad to have you with us. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your day so far. And weather-wise, no excuse not to enjoy yourself. Get outside. A lot of people here in Bristol doing that.
Yeah, and if And if anybody's out there enjoying the parade and getting through the warm weather, these Clydesdales, any testament to it. These guys,
look how sharp they look.
This is their 30th year in a row in the Bristol parade. We should say that the Hellamore Clydesdales.
And they are so beautiful. But what they go through to become show ready for today is just so funny. I think it's bigger than most of our routines to get ready every
Well, I don't know
day.
about that.
I mean, I don't have two people bathing me for an hour usually.
Oh, how about this? They eat approximately 200 quarts of grain and 6 bales of hay.
Oh,
The horses together. How about that?
it's a day?
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Mhm.
They look great,
Wow.
though. They look great. I think the Clydesdales mean we've moved on to the military division. We wrapped up the civilian division. Now we're into the military division. And Raymond Murray,
Our division marshal for the
Colonel.
military division.
recently retired. Colonel
right.
Murray, U.S. Army, retired.
Congratulations to him.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Happy 4th. Oh, and here comes the Naval Color Guard. Looking sharp as always.
And you notice the applause starts to pick up as soon as you start seeing military members. And of
So
course, when the
very
veterans
true.
make their way through a little bit later on, it'll be even louder.
That's one of my favorite parts.
And these are the folks that you can't thank enough. These are the folks that, you know, we really do remember them today. We should remember them 365 days a year, but unfortunately we know we don't. But today especially, what we have, our freedoms, our liberties. You know, you think back to the Revolutionary War and what that was all about and why we wanted our freedom from English rule and British rule. And here we are all these years later. That Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4th. And all these years later, we got to thank the men and women in uniform.
Yeah, right here we're seeing the Officer Training Command from the Naval Station Newport. Just look at that.
They're so sharp.
Great in the
They're
whites.
white.
And in that aerial shot, you can see the crowd giving them a standing ovation as they come through.
I like
That's
the
an amazing sight as
little
well.
Kids even standing
Right.
up.
Are
That's,
they?
that's
Giving a
awesome.
little salute. You can see the little boy over here giving a salute. I love that.
Standing ovation. Well deserved.
This is what it's all about. This right here, honoring our men and women who put their lives on the line.
Yes.
And you know what, it's really great to see that too, to see people who are coming out for a fun day, a parade, enjoying the nice weather, but really realizing what we are actually here for and seeing the crowd stand up and give a standing ovation like that. I just got a little bit of chills
Yes,
there.
Absolutely. And it's amazing to see that group of them all in their whites,
Right.
marching in unison. It's just pretty incredible. Yeah.
And you recognize the power that the military has and what we have because of them and where we would be without them.
Oh,
You don't even want to think about that.
we would not have many of the traditions that we have today. We've been able to keep those in place and keep them going because of everything that they do for us.
Hey, there's a group coming, guys, that
I
just,
know.
Every time I see them, I just get so excited. They're one of my favorites. I think it's one of my first parades. I was on the sidelines, and I was right there, and they blasted the horn right in my face. And they've had me hooked ever since.
Yes.
That's all
they
it takes
are-
is a horn in the face?
I guess so.
Okay.
Carolina Crown from Fort Mill, South Carolina. They were the 2013 Grub Corps International World Champions.
That's a big deal, too.
Yes.
You think about those competitions and how tight they are and how talented all those groups are. To
Right.
win that and come out on top of that, that's really impressive.
It's a big group of them, too. There are about 150 members, but there's a huge number of people that go and audition to be a part of this. Ages 16 to 22. Under the direction of band director Jim Coates. Let's listen in.
Can't help but dance along. I can see everybody already bouncing away. see-through. Those are really cool.
They're cool, right? You see why they got me hooked all those years ago.
Well, like I said, you can see right away as soon as they started playing, all three of us are just subconsciously bopping away.
Coming up next is something we see year after year as well, and that's the USS Farragut, the home port naval station, Mayport, Florida. Motto, prepared for battle.
And as Doreen mentioned earlier, there's a girl power theme, a woman power theme.
Oh, excuse me, actually, this is the surface warfare float right
Model
here.
of the ship
Sorry about
there.
that, yeah. The Surface Warfare Officer School.
The detail on that.
I know.
Hey, what does an aircraft carrier look like? Well, there you go.
Yep,
You
here
never
you
get
are.
close enough to see one. So here you are. That's pretty cool.
It is really, really cool.
All right, now, as promised, here's the Farragut. There. You know, you started to say too, Doug, the female girl power thing.
Yes.
So we mentioned earlier that the commander of the boat that was out in the harbor is a woman, and that is Commander Megan Thomas. Give her a little shout out today.
Farragut was commissioned during 2006. Again, big ovation for all the active members
That's right.
of the military.
We got the Coast Guard boat. They're busy out there on the water today, I'd imagine.
They
I
are.
would
As
think
soon
so,
as the
too.
weather gets nice, we're always reporting on how many rescues the Coast Guard is having to do.
Well, the
Yep.
thing is, they have to go to every call. You know,
Right.
even if there's some clown trying to joke around and pretend like they're a distress call. This Cranston Mayor Alan Fung as well.
Yep. Part of the reason they have Mayor Funk come here is because, as we mentioned earlier in our pre-show, the Drum and Bugle Corps competition is held now at Cranston Stadium because it got so big for Bristol. They moved it to Cranston. So they want Alan Funk to be here because they've been so grateful to him for hosting the Drum and Bugle Corps competition at Cranston Stadium.
Hi, Mayor.
Hi, Mayor
Happy
Funk.
4th. And that's really cool to include Cranston as well, because it has become such a big part of the 4th of July celebrations as well. It's almost becoming too big for Bristol. They need to reach out because there's always so much going on and it's so big, and they're drawing more and more people each year, so they need to be able to get them in there. And that Drum and Bugle Corps, it's always, the competition is always such a favorite. We get to see some of the performances here, but out of Cranston Stadium last night, it's just everybody's up on their feet and so much fun.
It's incredible. And the mayor brought the band from Cranston High School East.
Why
He
not?
needs a band, of course.
My alma mater, very proud
That's
alum.
right.
The Thunderbolts.
My mother as well. Proud Thunderbolt.
I won't say what year I graduated, but it was in the 80s. That was in the 80s. Come on. Mid-80s. Mid to late 80s. Nonetheless. Proud alum.
Well, here is it.
The green and
I
white.
missed what year you
Hey,
said
Doreen,
it
look at
was.
that
Yeah.
kid with the hat on.
Oh, okay.
The green and white looks great. Welcome to Bristol, folks. We bring everyone together in Bristol on the 4th of July, don't we?
Absolutely. Everybody comes from all over. You know, you get people, you mentioned you met somebody from California last night. People come from all over to be here today.
Well, what better place to be in New England? You think about it. 4th of July, we talk about the weather all the time, and
Yes.
you know, is spring? Is there spring? No, there's no spring. But the summertime, July and August in New England is phenomenal.
I mean, hello, if you're here from out of town, you're like, okay, we're moving to Bristol tomorrow.
We're at least stopping by, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We have so much more to come here from Bristol, so we hope you'll stay with us.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber.
Welcome back to Bristol on this beautiful 4th of July. So glad you could spend part of your day with us here at ABC6 along with Christina and Doreen. I'm John DeLuca. And there's a chant going on.
Yes. You want to talk about everybody getting up on their feet. My goodness.
Rhode Island National Guard, Army Division 56, Troop Command out of East Greenwich. I can't compete with that.
Nope.
I won't even
No
try.
need.
Let it be known, they are here.
Again, you notice the applause at home. I hope the microphones are picking it up.
Really getting the horn.
I'm sure they are. They're definitely picking up the horn, but the microphone picking up the applause. The folks are standing. Many were standing who can. Just the active military members coming through, tip of the cap, and certainly more than a polite applause. That's not a golf applause. That's a, hey, we thank you so much for your service, and we really do appreciate you. And I think as we see more and more on TV all the time about what's going on in the world, we really appreciate them even more.
Here, we're seeing it slowly go by here. We've got the 56 Troop Command 5-ton truck and howitzer back there.
Oh, wow.
You can see it now. Pretty incredible.
That's really neat. Another thing you usually don't see this close up.
No.
Very cool. It's the howitzer. And up behind them, the Rhode Island Air National Guard, the 143rd Air Wing members.
Well, that howitzer gets your attention though, doesn't it?
It really does.
When you see it.
It's pretty incredible. Sometimes you just get caught up looking.
Oh, you have to.
We're doing a show.
Oh, that's right. We're on TV.
I forgot about
yeah.
that.
We're just lounging with the folks here at Hope and Church.
It's on our patio.
This is our porch.
I know.
It's our porch on the parade route. I'm sorry, Doreen.
Okay,
Just
it's
got
all right.
got you with the pen. Folks have been concerned about Doreen's sunburn. She had a sunburn before she showed up. She is, I can assure you, she is
That's
covered in
me.
sunblock.
Yes, thank you.
Multiple times.
But that's
Sorry,
nice that
Mom.
people care. You know, people care.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
I know you're getting so many messages.
I know.
Lots of people very
Thanks,
worried
everybody.
about you.
Yep, I'm okay. I was foolish on Sunday first.
This is Our
Had it
Lady of
done.
Light band from Fall River. This was founded in 1969 by Portuguese immigrants.
There's 50 of them. Age 10 to 70 plus.
And they performed on ABC's Good Morning America. So these guys, they have some really big gigs. Now we have the Blue Star Mothers coming up behind them. This is a nonprofit that supports military parents.
Their children volunteer to serve.
And that's such an important aspect as well, because we talk about, you know, the sacrifices that our men and women in the services do for us every day, making this holiday possible, but really the families as well. That's such an important aspect to recognize when it comes to... It got me for a second.
Oh, that's the next division, guys.
They're just announcing they've arrived.
Ooh.
You made a great point there, Christina, though. It's not just the service members, obviously, but their family and extended family as well. We want to recognize them.
That right there on the horse is a reenactor of General John J.
Love
Pershing
this.
from the
Are you sure it's a
US
reenactor,
Army.
Doreen?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I
think that's him.
I think he looks pretty good for a guy who was born in 1860. General Pershing on his horse, the Orly.
I have to say, too, that is a well-trained horse to have those shots going off that close to him, too, and he's not missing a beat.
Yeah, who planned that to be so close together?
Well, I think they know that they have these horses so well-trained, you know?
True.
Because you think about it, they take, you know, these horses into battle and use them a lot more, obviously, in years prior, but they can get through quite a bit.
So General Pershing wraps up our military division, and now we're heading into our next division, the militia division.
The militia division's fun. You know? It really
Yes.
is. It's like a throwback in time.
Unless you're
Yes.
talking to a 5-year-old.
1770s.
Cringing with the muskets.
Oh, the muskets throw them off. Well, kids, cover your ear.
On cue.
Oh, did you hear the crowd? Ooh.
I see a lot of big kids, too, covering their ears, not just the little ones. Little kids covering their ears, but the big guys, too.
And then there's the smell.
I know.
Let it
A little
walk
gunpowder.
over, ladies and gentlemen.
Like a gunpowder smell.
Yep.
That little guy's enjoying it. One of my favorite parts of I love the fife and drum. I love that little, I want to walk with a limp every time I hear this, as I think of that.
I like the costumes too.
I know.
Pretty great.
As John said, a step back in time.
They were out of Bristol, the Bristol County Fife and Drum.
Like their old school sunglasses they have on, those circle sunglasses.
They performed at Mount Rushmore, London, DC, and Walt Disney World. And of course here in Bristol.
Right, it just kind of makes you feel like you're in like one of those Revolutionary War movies.
It does.
With the music.
I do. I love it. I just love the little fife and drum. It's cool.
Sure,
It's just
sure.
nice little retro thing here.
You hear the kids' screams coming down
Yes.
the way, I know.
It is nice. It definitely brings you into the moment.
Yes.
But yes, for some of the kids, some of the older kids, it might be a little much, but they love it.
Right here, the Bristol Train of Artillery.
Now, the tradition of floats, Christine and Doreen, started in 1918.
Wow.
They decorated them, and
So almost
people
exactly
said, that's nice, I like that. And it's caught on, obviously.
It's a beautiful float.
And each year to come up, with a new theme, a new design, and they're always so detailed.
Well, such creativity goes into it, too, because you don't want anything lame. You want people to go, oh, this is pretty good. And
Of course, the competition, too.
the competition's there as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more live coverage of the 232nd Bristol 4th of July celebration.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bristol. Happy 4th of July to you and your families. We've got to look at the Kaleidoscope Theater characters, a professional touring children's theater company that's based in Princeton. Hello to these guys.
We had our Bristol royalty earlier,
Yeah.
our Miss and Little Miss, and now we have a different type of royalty from Kaleidoscope Theater. Nice of them to visit. They have that wave down.
They
Yes.
do. They do,
have
they
a very
do.
good royal wave.
A big treat for all the little kids, the fire trucks, the antique fire trucks. There are antiques and then there are real antiques. This is a 70s fire truck, and we have some even older than that, obviously, and those are always fun to look at.
From Patuxent. Another one from the 70s, the
So-
Maxim pumper truck.
And then you can tell the
1975.
look is a little different here when you go retro to the 50s.
Just a little bit.
Not this one, but of course the kids are having a blast up there.
We should mention those, the kids that are on there are sort of to represent the Children's Wishes group.
That's a nice touch. Have the kids up there, and they're just going to have a blast all day long. Waving at everybody, smiling the whole time.
And Children's Wishes grants wishes to children who have life-threatening medical conditions. They're a local group based out of Rhode Island, and they were formed in 2009, so I'm sure many wishes have been granted since 2009.
I give a shout out to our photographers. They're getting some great shots. This is our jib camera from the top, but we've also got some great shots for you from the street.
This is the part of the parade, if you've got the little boy or girl who's super into
There we go. Hello
firefighters,
there.
this is the part. Kids like that who love the fire
Yes.
trucks, old and new. Just getting a chance to see them up close, these heroes.
And then they honk the horns and flash the lights for them. The kids always love that.
Oh, yeah.
I love the older trucks when you see somebody who's taken one of the older fire trucks and done their own renovations or restorations, and you can just tell that they've put so much love into it to bring it back to its, true and former glory.
So
Remember
true.
when my guys were little, Jack and Sean, we used to take them to touch a truck events. And, just
yes.
so you're right. So little kids look at that, and
Yeah.
it looks so big to them and so grand.
And there's not just one. There's 8 or 9 of them
It's a
coming down the
parade of
street right
fire
now.
trucks.
It's incredible.
It's the best.
It really is.
And it's so cool for some of the kids because, of course, firefighters are something that so many children look up to as heroes and want to be someday
It's
for
so
many
true.
kids.
And
So
those-
getting to meet your hero, it's pretty cool.
And those kids are probably losing their minds because right after the firefighters are
Oh.
characters
Princess
from
Leia.
Star Wars.
Here they
Forget it.
come.
This is the 501st Legion New England Garrison from the Alderaan base. Boy, they made good time getting here. That's what I'm hearing, which was nice.
Now you want to talk about being hot in the uniforms. What about those Star Trooper uniforms?
Oh, yeah. They don't need sunscreen.
And Darth Vader.
They do not.
No Darth Vader.
They are whiter than you, actually.
Kylo Ren is there. Very nice. I'm sure they're taking a lot of pictures.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure
Oh,
the
my
kids are running
goodness.
up. Oh my gosh.
Now, I
Let
was
me
going to
take
say,
a
that's one where they need bodyguards to keep the
Yeah.
kids away, I'm sure.
Stormtroopers
some
always
adults.
popular.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Oh, guys, here are the Kentish Guards from East Greenwich. In 1774, they were formed. At that point, there were 2 fifers and 2 drummers. A little bigger these days.
And I bet they sounded really good with the 2 and 2.
Oh, listen to that.
That brings you back. That's really cool.
Interesting to note about them, they are the 6th oldest continuous military music organization in the United States.
And again, that's the fun of the militia division.
Yeah.
And the gun shots going off too. Some of the fun. You get a jolt out of the crowd.
I know, I've
if you
learned-
start dozing, that'll
Yeah.
pop you right
Oh,
back up.
yes. I've
That's
learned
so
that
fast.
the key is to watch them so then you can see when they're about to fire. Then you're not as scared. If they catch you off guard, that's when I keep it. Woo, woo.
Lessons learned at the
I
parade.
know.
Hey guys, here is the Revolutionary Ship sponsored by In His Image Outreach.
I get a good look at this.
The puppets.
Ah. Very nice.
We have the Rhode Island seal on there.
And Patuxent Rangers out of Warwick, formed in 1774. Did a big job back in the day, protecting the village of Patuxent. Of course, Patuxent and Bristol to me are linked because of the Gaspee.
Right.
Sure, of course.
Gaspee Days Parade and the burning of the HMS Gaspee, which to me was really the start of everything. I think what England and the King was like, what, they did what? they did what to our tea, and they burned, where is this? What colony did this happen in? And sure enough, that got things really blood boiling there for the Redcoats, and you always think about the history and the pride that the folks in the Patuxent Village have. Certainly, they're very proud of their folks there at Patuxent Rangers as well. All right, you hear the music. We're going to take a quick break. We will be right back with more coverage from Bristol.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber.
Welcome back to Bristol and our porch on the parade route here at Hope and Church. So glad you could join us today, and we want to thank the folks who put this porch on the parade route together.
Yeah,
This.
Boschman Lumber and Eye Green. And how about our gorgeous flowers as well, guys? Our red, white, and blue.
Always nice. We have the bumblebees
whistles.
coming to visit. I love the planters on the side too, making it look like a nice, authentic porch out here.
Well, this is the way so many here in Bristol watch the parade, sitting on the porch. Although you might have to contend with the crowd that gathered on your lawn in front of you.
In case you're wondering, these are the folks from the 4th of July Committee, volunteers who are coming around with the patriotic baskets there, collecting money from the crowd. Donations are what makes this great event go year after year. The button contest and donations at the concerts, and I'm sure they had at the fireworks last night, and clearly they have it here today. There's 25, 30 people walking around with their buckets reaching out into the crowd. And
Yeah.
And people in Bristol understand what this means, and obviously if you're here for the first time, if you don't understand, you figure it out pretty quickly that they're asking for donations to keep this going bigger and better each year.
Yeah, they do it all in private donations, they say.
Unbelievable how much they get done.
Well, believe it or not, we are on to the Veterans Division, and if you've been to this parade once, you only need to be here once to understand when the veterans come through, the applause that they get, and when people recognize who it is that's marching in this division. There's a banner, but sometimes you might miss it, but then everyone kind of catches on real quickly. We saw for the military members and the applause that the active military members get. Well, the veterans come through, it's that and then some.
Right. This division is led by Joseph Denise, the president of the Bristol Veterans Council. He's a retired Bristol police officer. This is such a cool division.
It is, and this really, to me, is what it's about. You know, the 4th of July parade is the Military, Civic, and Firemen's Parade, and it's America's most patriotic town, and we're celebrating our independence as a nation in 1776, and these are the people to thank right here.
Absolutely. Yep. You know, there's no more time to sit. You got to get up on your feet.
Absolutely.
And you got to give it the
Ready to stand
credit
for
where
a
credit
while.
is due.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And this is what I'm really looking forward to seeing. The gentlemen from Iwo Jima, veterans, 1945 February. The Marines, those brave Marines, went to that island. Trying to say, there you go.
You can hear the difference in the applause too as soon as
the dignitaries,
as soon as their car comes through.
Ray Raish, Placido Firmino, Dennis McAuliffe, and Arthur Nelson. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your bravery and service.
I'm not sure which guy is standing inside there, but he's liking
brave
this
soul.
moment. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh,
Thank you. Happy 4th of July today. You think about what those Marines did, capturing that island from the Japanese.
Just incredible.
6,000 American soldiers died, 18,000 injured. And of course the enduring image, those Marines putting that flag up, that iconic photo that we all know. Even if you don't know about Iwo Jima, you know that photo.
Absolutely.
And hopefully when you see that photo, you do a Google search or something and say, what does this represent
Figure it out,
if you don't know? But we can't thank you gentlemen enough. Incredible.
And all survivors of Iwo Jima from Rhode Island there in that vehicle as well, which is always great.
That was a brutal 5-week bloody battle.
Loving watching them as they go on, and everybody's just cheering for them.
This is the loudest I've heard.
Well,
it's not just the clapping, but you're hearing so many people yelling to them as well.
I think because they're being able to see what's on the Jeep.
Yes.
They could see Iwo Jima survivors.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
you can
and
just
that,
tell where they are in the parade based on the noise.
It's incredible.
and you can't thank them enough.
No.
No.
And you can't thank enough. And it's not a golf applause.
No.
It's more than a polite applause, isn't it? It's a sign of respect applause.
Yeah, and they're smiling from ear to ear too. They're really appreciating the applause and the moment. Yeah.
Which is so nice. Very, very classy. And that's the thing about the folks along this parade. They get it.
Yes.
They get it.
They do.
It's not about, clown cars and floats and all that stuff. That's part of it. That's part of the fun. But they recognize what this means and the significance of it.
Even when you saw them either slow down or kind of come to a stop too, the people that were beside them didn't stop clapping the entire time.
Right.
It wasn't like, okay, I clapped and I respected it, that's it, it's over. As long as they were there in front of them, the crowd was on their feet and clapping, which is just incredible to watch.
And you kind of see the parents saying, he was in Iwo Jima.
Yes.
Right. Maybe I'll explain more to you later, but just in case, just so you remember this moment and recognize these gentlemen and what they did.
That's a great point.
These guys are a big deal.
A teachable moment for moms and dads and nanas and gagas.
So we've got the Bristol County Elks Lodge coming through here right now. They look like a rowdy bunch. They're having a good old time over there.
They are. Look at the pom-poms going and everything.
Yeah. So they do wine tasting, John.
Oh,
so it says on the float.
Bye,
Deck
guys.
parties, clam bakes.
All right, I can do a
How do
little
we
tasting.
join?
I have
Sign us
time
up.
for a tasting.
Sign us up, guys.
Can we go to a commercial break?
Doreen, can you hold this
We're
down?
in. Yeah. Yeah.
We're coming.
Yeah, let's get their number. They've got the porch idea going too, don't they?
I know.
Yeah.
This is a running theme. I like this.
Yeah, everyone caught on to our idea.
Yeah, who copied who here?
Yeah. We have another drum corps coming in, guys. This is another one. I feel like I say everyone's my favorite. I'll just tell the next one they're mine too. The Crossmen from San Antonio, Texas. There were two smaller groups that kind of came together. They've been a Drum Corps International World Championship finalist 25 times under the executive direction of Fred Morrison. Let's listen in.
Is that Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up? Never gonna give
Yeah,
you
yes.
up. Never gonna let you go. There's 80s right there for you.
Those costumes look like they might be a little bit of a throwback as well. We
I
got some
like
of the
that.
fringe, right?
Yeah, Texas.
The performance is coming.
Oh, yes, you're right. That's the Texas in them. The colors and the sparkles remind me of the 80s a bit.
So that is the Crossmen from San Antonio, Texas.
They're like, this heat is nothing. We just came from Texas. This is great.
So true.
Talk about loving our weather today. They must be really appreciating it.
So true. So true.
Is it me or those drums really echoing off the building? I mean, it feels like it's reverberating as they go by. It's really,
Well, there's so many of them.
that's what it is.
You know?
Yep.
They're pretty great.
Here we have our Korean War veterans.
Thomas F. Daly.
Thank you for your service, sir. Happy 4th of July. Give him a thumbs up. A fancy Camaro. Is that a Camaro? I can't tell. Yes, it is a Camaro.
I gotta mention, I
Convertible.
love some of the facts that we get about people. So it said that he was married for 52 years.
Wow.
His wife Eleanor. I just love that kind
Thomas
of thing.
Daly, married to Eleanor Daly for 52 years.
Pretty great.
Drafted at 21. Sent to North Korea.
This is his long military career throughout the entirety of the 3-year war. Unbelievable. Thank you, sir, for your service. We have another scale model that's coming down the way. We were talking about how neat this is, an experience that so many people, kids, young and old, don't get a lot in their lifetime to be able to be that close. And it's a replica, but they do such a detailed, amazing job that you really get to see every little intricate part of it. Love it. We have the scale model of the submarine USS Providence coming down the way now. An all-black submarine.
It was built by the students of Charahoe High School Marine Technology class in 2006.
And then the future classes keep it up. They keep
Take a
doing
lot of pride in
maintenance.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really neat too.
It's our turn to get this, make it look shiny and nice. And
Yeah.
A lot to be proud of there.
submarine looks good. Nice job there, Charahoe High
There's
School.
some of the veterans from U.S. submarines as well, right behind them there that we're
Oh,
seeing.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Happy 4th of July.
All right, you know, we talk about the titles, guys. So the next float that's coming in is the winner of the most original float. And that is from the Company B's, sponsored by Defiance Hose Company based in Providence. They wanted to take a sentimental journey back to the 1940s and hear the songs of the Andrews Sisters, Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole, and a military medley paying tribute to our armed forces. How cool is that? That is pretty original.
cool. I
I'll give
like
them
that.
some credit.
They sound
Hey,
beautiful.
Look at that.
It's Kim Frenzy, Patty Nolan, and Katie Estrella.
They're adorable.
Happy 4th, everybody.
Happy 4th.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Let's hear it for Rosie the Riveter out in front.
Rosie.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, there she is. Yeah, very nice. All right, I'll agree with the judges on that one. Most original.
That's really neat.
That is original.
Yeah.
Gotta love hearing some of that good 40s music too.
1940s. Take us right back.
Right?
That was their point.
Well, it worked. It worked on the judges committee, that's for sure. Another replica, Christina.
Guess what's stuck in my head now?
The Boogie Woogie Boogie Boy from Company C.
Yeah.
Hello, happy 4th. Look at all the details on that one. Wow.
Happy 4th of July, sir. How are you?
Very cool. And then I love when they're carriers like that too, and they put the planes on there, the model planes as well, because then that also shows you just how massive these things are in real life if they could dwarf a plane like that.
We need Google to do a little survey of our area and what people Google after the parade to see what people Google after the parade, what lesson they decided to take on.
That
and
is a great idea because there's so much that you can learn out here too.
Yeah.
Of course, it's such a fun and festive atmosphere, but so much history, so much that you can learn. And I really feel like even as adults, there's some new little piece that you learn each year as well, right? Something maybe that you missed the year before, or just like a little nuanced detail that maybe you didn't see.
Or maybe, sorry, U.S. history teacher, you might have forgotten.
Yes. So, you know, it's been longer for some of us than others, and it sometimes forget.
As you look over our shoulder, Doreen and Christina, the Korean war jet flown by none other than the splendid Splinter, Ted Williams.
I want to know how that kid got that so lucky to be in the cockpit of that plane.
I know, look at him just surveying.
If we can get a shot of that,
and the coolest of cool.
There's a picture of Ted on the side. There's the kid who's in charge. He's flying this thing. Hello, young man.
Good job.
Very nice.
But then you can see there was a shot of Ted on there. Which, yes, cool. I mean, think about today. Can you imagine Mike Trout or Mookie Betts going off to war as prime of their career? Ted Williams did that.
Yeah. And think about what that did for so many others, Americans as well, who were going off to fight as well.
Yeah, Ted Williams went. And he didn't just go in a ceremonial role. He was flying, flying missions.
There is the In Remembrance of D-Day floats.
Every time I think of World War II, I think of D-Day. It's nice. You see all the movies. Obviously, Private Ryan comes to mind. But they're coming off. The soldiers are coming off into Normandy in these loaders right off into the beach, and the Germans are waiting for them. And it's incredible what they did. The bravery, the courage. It's incredible.
The iconic shot of him going up to the beach, waiting for the woman.
Magnificent. All right, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back though with more coverage from Bristol. 232nd 4th of July celebration.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Oshman Lumber.
Welcome back to ABC6 News' coverage of the Bristol 4th of July Parade. We are right in the middle of it all at Church and Hope. We have a performance going on right behind us. This was just beautiful timing. This is the Portuguese Independence Band based right out of Bristol, Rhode Island here, and founded in 1919. So they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a little while now. We got a breeze coming through.
Yeah. Listen to them. for 50 years.
So cool. 50 years.
Yeah.
He definitely should be the band leader.
Yeah.
He knows the ropes at this point.
All the members decked out in their patriotic ties.
Nice. They sound great.
Oh, that was awesome. I feel like we just got to see a concert.
A little bit.
Just a little private showing on our porch here.
And as the Portuguese Independence Band makes its way by, you'll start to hear the applause start to really grow. The Vietnam veterans are making their way through. And these gentlemen, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Long, costly, divisive war, certainly not popular in this country. Really, if you think about it, the first time anyone ever saw war on their living room TVs, and every night on the news, they would see things they'd never seen before, and people didn't like what they saw. And these brave gentlemen, courageous gentlemen went over there, whether they were drafted or they signed up. 1 out of every 10 of them were either injured or killed.
Wow.
In Vietnam.
Wow. Thank you so much to them.
And you know, we always know when the bands are coming because we hear the drums
The
and the
Rolling Thunder.
horns. But now we start to hear the rolling thunder.
Here they come.
And their mission is to bring
yeah.
accountability for the prisoners of war. And as of June 2017, I got this fact from the U.S. Department of Defense Prisoners of War Missing Personnel Office. Still, in June of 2017, over 1,600 unaccounted for in Southeast Asia.
Wow.
And that's what the Rolling Thunder is all about. They were incorporated in 1995, but they want to let people know what all the motorcycles sound good, though, don't they?
They do.
I got to stop talking to hear that.
Yeah, if there's ever a way to get people's attention.
Exactly. They're making that message heard.
Wow.
And you think about the conditions in Vietnam that those soldiers faced. You're in a jungle, 120 degrees, brutal conditions. Brutal conditions. You're fighting unbelievable opponent who knew the terrain way better than you did. And you come back here, you get a horrible reception. You're blamed as if it's your fault.
Right.
And all these years later, people realized, hey, that was wrong. We're going to make this right with the veterans, the Vietnam veterans. Thank you so much.
Oh,
sir.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. We were just talking about
We're just talking about what you guys do. Thank you.
Pretty amazing. Hey,
The Rolling Thunder.
Oh, member of the Rolling Thunder, come up and say hello.
That's live TV for you folks.
We appreciate that because it's over. We have to sit here and wave, but that was great.
And the CBs right now, their float coming by.
I always like that one.
I know, right?
That's nice. You can hear the applause further down. They've moved down, obviously, from where we are at Hope Church, but the applause is still ringing for the Vietnam vets, as it should be. And the veterans make up, in my part, the most important part of the parade, and the patriotic speaker and the veterans, and people recognize that, and the people in Bristol understand that. They take great pride in their town, they take great pride in their parade, and they want to let everybody know, hey, this is what we're about. We're about patriotism, not just because we have red, white, and blue down the middle of the road, but because we recognize and understand that these sacrifices that the men and women in uniform have made, continue to make, and have made in the past.
And that's why it's so important to have so many of them and really have each war represented here as well. Recognizing across the board that, again, these are the reasons that we're able to keep these traditions for so many years, because throughout the years we've had our veterans.
Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, Christina.
This is always one of my favorites. I think it's such a moving
They won
float.
the top military honor in the judging contest for the parade.
You have to.
Right, absolutely.
I don't know how you could knock this out of the top spot.
So they've been around, obviously, for a while, but this year they got some funding and they were able to fix up the float and really refurbish it. It's pretty incredible. Of course, it's a model of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Washington, D.C., representing all the missing and unknown service members who've made the ultimate sacrifice, not only gave their lives, but also their identities to protect our freedoms. It's guarded 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's been since 1937. Wow.
Yeah, 4 years ago, I had a chance to go down with Amy and the boys to D.C. and take all that in. It's just incredible. It's what they did down there. It's just, it makes you so proud to be an American. But seriously, you get choked up when you look at it. You see all these names, you see all the things that have happened, and why we enjoy the freedoms and liberties we have today. But it's worth doing. It really is incredible.
Absolutely.
Here are the Jewish war veterans of the USA, the Rhode Island Department. Hello.
They were founded right after the Civil War. Jewish War veterans. Thank you for your service. Happy 4th of July, gentlemen. Their first name, though, was the Hebrew Union Veterans. They've since changed it.
That makes them, though, the oldest organized veterans group in the United States.
Wow.
That's
Right?
quite a distinction, isn't it?
That really
Yeah.
is. If you think of how many across the country there are to be the oldest and longest serving, that's a kudos to them.
They recognized very early on the importance of organizing and sticking together
Yep.
and supporting each other.
We've gotten to hear a lot of good music today, guys.
know.
Yes, we have.
Lots of great
Like you
music.
said, it's kind of like our own little private
Yeah.
show we have going on.
Little show on our porch, you know. We've got the Joseph Case High School band from Swansea coming our way right now. The young men and women, 7-time New England Scholastic Band Association champions, including last year.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah. The Cardinals, under the band direction of Richard Cordero.
A lot of pep in their step as they make their way down Hope.
Sort of, it's not that far away, Swansea, so of course they've probably got a lot of friends and family along the parade route as
Absolutely.
well.
It's a big deal for the local folks. You know, that you come to this as a child and you watch it, and then you get your chance as a teenager in high school. It's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
It's your due. You wouldn't watch them, you gotta go watch, watch the rest. Joseph Case High School band from Swansea. They got the memo. This isn't their first parade. They have the nice, cool uniforms on for today. They were ready for that 2.5 mile.
Very smart.
Mile trek. Yeah. Ooh.
Look at these
Now, we talked about oil trucks and antique trucks, and here's one.
Yeah.
Really an antique. 1928.
Columbus
flower
Energy.
edition on the side.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not the antique truck, obviously. It's the one right behind it. You can see it.
Oh, those are the trophies. Those are some tall trophies.
No joke. All right, you want to talk about proud moms and dads in the crowd?
Right here.
Yep. Take a look, everybody, because we got some
Right, there's
future
your old truck,
Oscar
Del.
winners in here.
They're in.
Nope, you're seeing
There's,
that now.
there's
Okay.
the 1928 oil
Gotcha.
truck. Columbus.
I'm sorry about that.
It's
I was
okay.
moving on to the kids that are.
She
No,
gets
I
very
understand.
excited as
I
a
like
mom.
the kids.
I
Yeah.
understand.
So these are the kids from the Bristol Theater Company. They're getting ready to do James the Giant Peach.
Singing us some of their songs. No, I have not seen the play version of this yet, but I
Artie,
always loved that
how are
book.
How cute are they?
Did we just wrap up the Veterans Division?
We did. That went fast.
Wow.
It was quick. It's flying by. But we still have more for you to come, so we hope that you'll stick with us. We just have to take a very quick break, but we will be right back with more from Bristol this beautiful 4th of July.
Watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Bushman Lumber.
Welcome back, everybody. Can you believe, guys, we're already on the 4th division of
No, I
this
can't.
parade?
Nope.
It's
So
just
quick.
flying by. It's been an absolutely gorgeous day here in Bristol. Perfect sunshine. The sky got the memo about the red, white, and blue.
Yes.
Bringing the blue in.
It's shiny right down the middle of Hope and High Streets.
I think it's going so quickly because we're so relaxed on our beautiful our porch set. I keep wanting to say
Yes.
patio. It's our porch set, our porch on the parade route. And it's so beautiful. We have to thank some of our sponsors, Boschman Lumber and iGreen, helping us build this set, and helping us fit right in, right? We look like we just, you know, have lived
Like
in
this is
Bristol
our
our
house.
entire lives. Exactly.
We're here all the time.
Yeah. We've got the Rhode Island State Council Knights of Columbus 4th Degree Color Guard that just came down. The Catholic organization that believes in the principles of the church and that Catholic gentlemen should follow the precepts. A lasting organization there.
Very nice.
All of them just coming down now.
Again, this is the Civic Division.
Yes.
We just wrapped up with the Veterans Division. Really nice applause. I thought that was a nice touch on all the folks lining this parade route. And I believe the crowd is bigger than it has been the last couple of years, and I think the weather has a lot to do with it as well.
I'd agree with you, John. I'd agree. Big crowd today. Hey, most beautiful float coming by right now, and that is We the People. Sponsored by Faith Christian Center, and I'm not the one calling it most beautiful. That was from the parade judges.
Yeah, that's the Knights of Columbus
That's
there.
Oh,
still
sorry,
the-
that's sorry,
most
it's
beautiful
coming up.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I got a
There
little
we go.
sun glare where I'm sitting, and I couldn't see what
Oh,
was
that's
coming.
okay.
Sorry, guys. Here we
Okay,
go.
it's worth saying twice.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's because you can see them coming down the
I do.
line,
I have a
right?
good
And it
advantage.
gets- I know, it gets so exciting. But it's funny because you can see everybody on the parade route getting like that too, because you want to pay attention to what's in front of you, but you see everybody leaning down and seeing what's coming next
What's
and getting
next?
so excited.
There it is, the most beautiful.
And
Gorgeous.
it is a beautiful float.
We the People. Get a good long look at that this
Oh,
time.
that's really intricate.
Right? I mean,
What did
the
this win,
judges did a
Doreen?
wonderful job.
This one, most beautiful.
That's beautiful. Okay.
They cut down on the number of awards this year, so there's not as many titles on all of the different floats.
So it's most beautiful, most original, and most patriotic. That is certainly beautiful.
Really beautiful.
Like
Gorgeous.
the touch with Washington, D.C. on there as well.
Job well done, guys. Job well done.
Happy 4th of July, folks.
Yeah, so again, that is sponsored by the Faith Christian Center. Really great.
And they have some dancers tonight as well,
And why not?
right? Everybody needs a little dance lead out, right?
Yeah. Well, they've got a lot of energy, considering how far they've come so far.
I know, I'm
Still
always
be
so
pumping it up
impressed by
like
that.
I love it.
How they keep it up like it's the first performance of the day, right? Whether they're singing or they're dancing or they're doing color guard, whatever it is, marching the bands, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody keeps that energy up. And I think the crowds help with that too. You
Oh,
know, as
sure.
you're coming through, you know that it's the first time that they're seeing you and their smiles and their clapping and everything, I think has to keep you pumped.
Oh, yeah. They're great. How fun are they?
So funny.
Being
My
a pro.
goodness.
That's being a pro.
Who's honking at us over here? I think I recognize these guys as Nick, Ron, and Pete. Nairobi from Cardi's, of course, our coverage sponsors for today's ABC6 coverage of the Bristol 4th of July parade.
They look very comfortable.
Yeah, couldn't do this without them.
See, look at, they have a porch too.
And
I
their
know,
Adirondack
look at
chairs.
They got with the thing.
Maybe that's the addition that we need, John.
Adirondack
chairs,
Well, that
rather
would
than
be
the
too
rocking
comfortable.
chairs.
Yes,
I think
yes.
we'd be
Oh,
too
so you think
comfortable.
you're more likely to fall asleep there than the
I
rocking
think,
chair?
either way, I'm falling asleep.
Oh, okay.
It's just so comfortable.
I talked to Nick, Ron, and Pete just a couple of
Yes,
weeks ago
that's right.
about being part of the sponsorship for this parade, and they were just kind of talking about, you know, they're a family company, and this is a day for families, and this what better thing for them to be a part of than the Bristol 4th of July parade.
And this is Rhode Island. You know,
And
this
let-
is Rhode Island. The 4th of July
Right.
parade, Bristol 4th of July parade is just, you think of Rhode Island, you think of Bristol, and Cardi's want to be a part of that.
This is really neat, this Remax float. They have their hot air balloon, but the balloon's removed, so you actually get to see how it works. A little fire in the parade, okay.
Very cool.
Not many floats can say that they can do that.
Just watch the wires.
Wow,
That's all I say.
I know.
Watch the wires.
Definitely need some training for
Oh,
that.
they're giving away T-shirts. Move over.
That's always a
They
popular
might have
float when
broken
you're
out
giving
a
away
war.
T-shirts.
That's very cool. All right, now you got to stop because you're getting close to wires, people.
Oh.
Safety first.
And now coming behind them, the Remax All-Star Marching Band. They're out of Dayton, Rehoboth.
First time in Bristol.
First time.
Welcome to Bristol.
And they fit right in. Look at them with their red, white, and blue. They knew. I think they got the memo. They were told, okay, first time in Bristol, break out the red, white, and blue. And this is a volunteer band made up of both children and adults. So their band members span from the ages of 10 to 60 years old. Really neat, such a diverse group.
Yeah, look how big they are, guys.
Oh wow, this is a huge group.
Listen to them play.
Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Bushman Lumber.
Welcome back, everybody. The parade going along really smoothly here on Hope Street on the corner of Hope and Church. We've gotten to see so many wonderful things so far today. We thank everybody at home who's watching along with us and taking this all in. It's really such a neat opportunity to be bringing you the parade once again. Right now we're getting to see the Fallandolfa float, celebrate America's independence with beauty and peace.
This is such a neat one.
Very colorful.
I do look forward to that.
Yes.
Very
right?
colorful.
It's gorgeous with
Something
big
a little
lotus
different.
flowers on it.
Beautiful.
People dressed as celestial maidens. The lotus flower symbolizing purity, perseverance, and peace.
If you've watched this parade before, you recognize these folks. They're here every year. They make it a point to be in this.
It is. It's such a neat addition to the parade. And this is Falun-Dafa, if you don't know, is a traditional Chinese practice for improving the mind, body, and spirit. So if you see some of these traditional poses that they're doing here, a little sort of meditation. Very neat to watch.
Sort of soothing.
Right? I feel like we could start practicing this here.
Yes.
We'll start doing some of these moves.
It wouldn't hurt.
John, you're getting a little tense on me here. You got to do some of this.
It wouldn't hurt.
No, he's already talked about falling asleep. We don't need him getting any more
If
relaxed.
I had a hammock, if I had a rocking chair or an Adirondack chair.
I like the hammock idea.
On the porch.
All right, next year, guys.
Deal.
Hammocks.
That's casual
We'll do
4th
one
of July
each.
coverage
Yes.
right there, isn't it?
We'll do one of each. Somebody gets an Adirondack, somebody gets a rocking chair, and somebody in a hammock.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I like it.
We didn't assign cocktails.
You guys with the cocktails.
We just can't
Or
wait.
water.
We do have the water in here.
Water's fine. Hey, it's the 4th of July. It's a day for celebrating being
really
with your
is.
family.
No,
and
it's about
friends.
being together.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, family and friends, not just in Bristol. People all over the country get together on this patriotic holiday. A lot of people traveling, you know, triple aces every year. Millions of people hit the road.
Yep.
This was, I think, a record year anticipated to be.
Yeah. Well, the gas was cheaper.
Right.
Cheap gas.
A lot of people out on the roads.
Nice weather.
Weather's fantastic. The weekend leading up to it, it kind of fell on a kind of a funny day, and I say that in a funny way. How it works out with your vacation days. We kidded about this on Channel 6.
Joking about this.
Because you take Monday off, you take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or you take Friday from last week and you package it together and you get a nice few days off without using a lot of vacation days.
We were doing the math. You could get like a 7-day vacation, only take 3 days off from work, or if your company gives you Monday off, only 2. This is a golden
You guys
plan.
really put a lot of effort into this.
Well,
we were trying to help.
This is really my undertaking here.
guess
I
you
took
did.
great pride in this.
All right.
He's a big
I got
proponent
it.
of this.
You know, too, you guys mentioned how many people are on vacation and posting the pictures on Facebook. You know, so if you've got some pictures too that you want to share with us, we have our hashtag ABC6 Bristol 4th. We hope you all share some of your photos of this great day.
Show off your pride, your patriotic pride.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We want to see how you're celebrating. You can see how we're celebrating, and we've been using that hashtag today as well. So if you want to go on there, you can check out some of our pictures, and if you use the hashtag, then we'll see yours as well. So we'd love to see how you guys are celebrating, whether you're here in Bristol or you're somewhere else in Rhode Island, or maybe you're somewhere else in the country.
Yeah. From Portchester, New York, guys. We're about to be treated to the stylings of the Saints Brigade. These guys came and gave us a little private concert earlier this morning. The Drum Corps, a nonprofit youth charity formed in 2011. 100 members. This is their 6th straight year. Let's listen to them play.
Marching in. The Saints Brigade again from Portchester, New York. And they're not done just yet. They're heading to Walt Disney World next week to perform in Magic Kingdom.
That'll be fun.
It would be for them. Oh my
That's
goodness.
a good time waiting to happen. That's the one with Frank Porcella.
Yeah, so I talked to them earlier today, and Frank, their executive director, got really emotional about playing here today because this was really the first contract that they ever got as a band because they were formed just back in 2011. So this was one of the first places that really gave them the opportunity to march in the parade. Oh, hello. Okay. But it was... Oh, that's so...
Beautiful,
a fan.
Right? Thank you so much. Happy 4th.
I was saying though that Frank really felt like this was their parade because Bristol gave them the shot to play and march in the parade, and so they really feel this connection to Bristol. So this is their 6th year in a row, and they really just love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Hello to Paws. Hello to Socks.
Oh, hello from
the Paw Sox mascots.
Hi.
You know, the Paw Sox have a game tonight.
Oh, do they?
At 7:05, they're playing
why?
Rochester.
You know why they have a game tonight? Fireworks shows at the display.
there you go.
Are those
fantastic? That's one of those things, you know, we talk about Providence. If that's not a good fit for you, McCoy Stadium, and get in and around the stadium, whether you go to the game or you go outside of the stadium, lots of folks do that, obviously, and they put on a great show.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's better if you're in the stadium because the music accompanies it, patriotic music, and the theme music is going, the fireworks are going, but it's really fun. The folks at Kentucky Red Sox do a fantastic job with their displays.
It's really spectacular, and they let the kids go sit on the field, too, which is really
That's
fun.
right. At the end of the game,
it's
you
really
go on
fun.
the field, bring a blanket, and run down there. It's really a nice, fun family atmosphere.
Yeah. Those are hard tickets to get sometimes around the park.
That's true.
They do it, though, for 3 nights.
Do it in advance. You can get something. But again, when our guys were little, I took the kids out there several times. It was nice. Or you can just go in the streets of Pawtucket.
That's true.
And park on the side. And was there a lobster that just went by on stilts?
Yeah, that's the lobster on stilts.
Did
Well,
I
that
just see
just got
that?
thrown in
I
there.
think I did see that.
That's the name too. Very literal. I like that. Lobster on. At least you know what you're getting. You know,
It's like Snakes on a
lobster
Plane.
stilts.
Yeah.
Remember the Snakes on a Plane
Yes.
movie? I wonder what that movie's about. Snakes on a Plane. Lobster on stilts.
The
Yeah.
lobster on stilts seems friendlier, less scary than the snakes on the plane.
I'm
I would take the lobster on the stilts.
Yeah,
any
good
day.
call.
Lobster on a stilt. Cracks me up. It's funny.
We have the Boy Scouts here, too, today. The Boy Scouts from Troop 55 in
Nice.
Riverside. Yeah.
They understand
Yeah, they were prepared for
what's
today.
going on there.
Yeah. So this is yet another float coming by. This is Give Back to the Community, sponsored by Explore Bristol, Bristol's Merchant Association. It's a private group and public that they get together to promote Bristol's natural, historic, and cultural resources to make Bristol a more desirable place to visit, to shop, run a business, work, live, you name it.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
And encouraging everybody to volunteer as well. Of course, as we mentioned, a huge part of how not only the parade but all of the 4th of July festivities get done is by the countless hours that so many volunteers put in. So it's great that they're encouraging other people to give back to whatever your cause may be. Volunteering is such an important part of our community.
You talk about keeping up the energy level as the parade goes on. We've got Rancho Folkloric. I struggle with it every time. Folklorico. Yes, the social Portuguese club coming from Pawtucket. Founded in 1992. They always put on a great show with their cultural dance as well.
We talked about a diverse group before, too. This one, children to adults ages 5 to 70. That span is just unreal.
It is diverse.
It's amazing because, you know, we talk about traditions and family and how that's such an important part of the 4th of July, and I think you really see that in groups like this, where not only is it members who have been part for decades, but you can see when they're bringing in these younger children that they are passing on the traditions to the other generations that will carry it on for years to come as well. And that's so important so we can continue to have these organizations be a part of this parade for years and years to come.
There's a traditional Portuguese clothing. The ladies doing traditional dances.
You see their instruments too.
These kids performed everywhere too, really. They've gone to Portugal, New York, New Jersey, California, New England. They've performed all over.
All right, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back. The tradition continues in Bristol. Please stay with us.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber.
Well, welcome back to America's most patriotic town on this 4th of July, a town that was founded in 1680, a parade. They thought, you know what, let's recognize the 4th of July. That was in 1785. They've been doing something every year since. 232 years, in fact, they've had a celebration here on the 4th.
They caught on pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I think it's stuck.
They do a pretty good job when it comes to this. And as you mentioned, yes, it's the 4th of July celebration that's the longest running in the country. Not necessarily just the parade. It's been a few years that they haven't done the parade, but there's always some huge celebration here in Bristol to celebrate the 4th of July.
Right now, coming up on our spot here at Hope and Church is the Alexandria Area High School Marching Band from Alexandria, Minnesota, a competitive marching band since the early 1980s. They're under the direction of Matthew Winarski, and they're going to play for us here. Let's take a listen to them. Very nice. The Alexandria Area High School Marching Band.
All the way from Minnesota. I always loved the Minnesota connection.
I know, there are so many groups
cool.
that come.
Over the years. Minnesota.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well, he established a relationship a long time ago, and
It's all about
word got
relationships,
around.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Why not come to Bristol for the 4th?
It's yet another tradition.
Yeah.
Well, something too for the drum and bugle corps and the bands to be a part of something like this, you know, and everybody, towns all over the country obviously have 4th of July celebrations, but some have a little more panache factor.
Yeah.
Bristol certainly at the top of the list.
I would say so. Hey, you're the Shriners, guys. The Shriners International, the
little
fraternity
cars.
based on fun, fellowship, and the Masonic principles of brotherly love, relief, and truth.
There they are.
There are the Shriners. There's
I
a
always
little car.
Love those little cars.
Now, here's
right?
another thing the kids love.
They're the best. I love
The
it.
little cars.
The kids are like,
Those
I
things
have a
can
little
go.
car like that
Yeah.
at home too.
Well, I love that the Shriners act like little kids in the
Yes.
little cars.
They
you know?
do. They do.
All of a sudden, they flash back to being 13 and 9. It's great.
They're really
Whoa!
doing some tricks out there.
Somebody thought he was 5.
The go-karts, souped up. Those are cool. He's drifting, darling.
He's drifting, I know.
Oh my gosh.
That
is so fun.
neat.
Showing off for our cameras. Thanks, guys. Always appreciate that.
Little kids love that. And the big kids, too.
There are over 200 chapters in several countries and thousands of clubs around the world of the Shriners.
They know how to show off. You know, the kids love them, and they also are big in helping with kids as well through Shriners International, supporting Shriners hospitals for children.
Incredible what they do.
It really
You
is.
talk about volunteering and raising money and helping other people. The Shriners organization embody that and then some.
And this is a big part of it too. You know, it's not just physical health for a lot of these kids, but also the mental health aspect.
Right.
Being able to have something that, you know, is fun and makes you smile and laugh, and they certainly do that for the kids.
Yeah,
Clowns
like
are
the
here.
clowns.
The
Hello.
clowns are here.
Look at how big their contingency is. They have 67 vans, 68 trucks, a little bus, 9 mini cars. They brought the whole crew here to Bristol today.
Some people like clowns. Some people are freaked out by clowns.
Yeah.
I'm on the like clown side.
These
Clowns
are the
don't bother
Shriners
me.
clowns.
Yeah.
They're the nice clowns.
The nice clowns. There's no question these are the nice clowns, but some people can't differentiate.
That is
They go,
true.
oh, clowns.
There are a lot of people who are afraid of clowns, but no, they're not going to be any scary clowns on the 4th of
I
July.
don't think so. They take the
No.
day off.
Yeah.
It's too hot for the scary clowns.
They know this isn't their day.
We got to learn their secret of keeping the makeup on, though, I guess, Christina.
I know, right? Well, I think that clown makeup is a little bit
Yeah, a little
thicker. I don't know if we want to
thicker.
do that.
Yeah,
Every
good
night
point.
would be like, they don't have to do it every day, I don't think, so
Yeah.
they can get away with it. Special occasions.
They must have such a good time, though, together. Just the fellowship and the fraternity that's there.
Yes.
Really amazing group
That's
to
a,
be a
that's a
part
good way
of.
of putting it.
Yeah.
Fraternity and fellowship, yes.
Yeah. Amazing group. They're having fun.
Shriners
So Shriners
continue
out
on
of Cranston.
as Doreen said, they have quite a contingent here. The vans, the trucks, small bus, the mini cars, they're well represented here, as they are every year in Bristol. Very popular.
Another popular guy is making his way over.
Taking a break from the North Pole.
Looking a little different. This is summer Santa Claus.
He got his Hawaiian shirt on this year.
Gotta relax. Santa needs a break too.
That red suit would be
Exactly.
too much.
Oh, yes.
Santa can't go 52 weeks a year.
No, no.
Summer Santa.
Happy 4th.
This is vacation time.
Happy 4th. The decorated Christmas tree with red, white, and blue. It's perfect. An Uncle Sam hat.
It's a summer Christmas tree.
That is a summer Christmas
I like
tree.
the
that.
Hawaiian shirt on Santa.
Right?
It looks,
It looks
good,
good.
on him.
No.
Yeah.
He's lost a few pounds too. He looks good.
He does look good.
Guys, I can hardly believe it.
What?
Look who's
You
behind
know what that
us.
means. You
No,
know what
is
that
it
means.
Mr. Patriotic Potato
It
Head?
is
It is.
Mr. Potato Head. He always is our sign, of course, that the parade
Does
is
anyone
ending.
take more pictures than Mr. Potato Head? I mean, everyone, how many selfies, how many group
That's
shots?
true.
You
That's
come
very
in-
You're coming
true.
down
You
into
have to.
Bristol. Yep, Mr.
That's another
Patriotic.
thing that you find a lot of people, I think, kind of touristy thing for people to do in Rhode Island, because Rhode
Oh,
Island's
sure.
known for having them kind of hidden around the state. And I've known of people who will come and visit just to take pictures with the different Mr. Potato Heads across the
Well,
state.
especially that one.
Yeah.
too.
Yes, oh, absolutely. He's the big one. And it's funny because it's kind of an end cap for me. When we did our promotions for our Bristol 4th of July coverage, I was out shooting with him, and then he's the end of the parade. So start and end with him.
Fitting there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's right. You spent some quality time with Mr.
I
Potato
did,
Head.
you know, he filled me in on some secrets and stuff.
Did he say anything you can divulge?
Oh, not on air. He's just telling me about how much he enjoys his time in the parade.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more from Bristol right after this.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber.
Welcome back here to Hope and Church and our beautiful porch on the parade route here, brought to you by iGreen and Boschman Lumber, providing us with our setting, which was really a fun setting.
It
really opened
is.
up with our bunting and our flower pots, and just really love hanging out with you guys. It's been a fantastic 4th. I really have enjoyed it.
Really have. And it's funny because we mentioned that this is so much more welcoming. You know, we really look like we fit in with Bristol and everybody else's porches. And I think it really is because we have had multiple people coming up on set to say hi.
Well,
I think
it's
that's
welcome,
kind
like
of a
you
first.
said, Kristen.
Yeah.
It's welcoming. They feel like they can just walk right up and say hi, which
Come on in.
we love.
We do love it.
We don't always encourage it, but we love it. Thank you.
We also want to thank Nick, Ron, and Pete
Yes.
Carty and Carty's Furniture for their sponsorship of our parade. Without them, this whole coverage would not have been possible to allow so many people who couldn't make it down to Bristol to watch the parade
Also,
at
our
home.
friends from Dunkin' Donuts
Yes,
as well.
thank
Thank
you
you so
very
much.
much.
Cheers to them.
It, as Doreen said, it really you summed it up really well. Is that we want to put this parade on, certainly, but in order to do that, we have to have sponsors to do that, presenting sponsors, coverage sponsors, and a lot of folks come together to make this happen. Certainly, we hope you enjoy our coverage at home, but we really want to thank our sponsors for the opportunity to bring this to you.
And somebody who has been able to watch the parade firsthand, and I know has been having a lot of fun, of Chief Meteorologist Jeff Denoyer, who's been out in the crowd, but now we want to make him work a little bit again.
Okay.
It's not tough,
I've
though.
been out in the crowd, just kind of hanging out.
I know.
Christine.
So who are you talking to now, Jeff?
I'm talking to Betty.
Okay.
I got Betty next to me. Hi, Betty. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You know what's during the parade? You had somebody come over and bring you the flag. It was a little intimidating. What's going on with
Yes.
that?
I don't know. I wasn't
before.
sure what was happening because I didn't see him given out before. So he just approached me, and then the next thing I know, he pulls out a flag and puts it over my shoulders.
Kind of touching too. I mean, that was during the time when all the vets were going by and stuff. And what does that part of the parade bring to you?
It makes me proud because my brothers, my dad, everybody, my uncles, cousins, they've all served some way, one way or the other. So it just, and where I work, we clean some of the uniforms. So it's like,
Really?
yes. So it even makes me a little prouder because you see them all white and shiny and walking down the street.
I got this. I'm all set with that. Well, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought you handled it pretty well because you even said it looked like he was going to come and give you a big kiss.
Yes, it did. Because he just looked at me like, okay.
How overall do you think the parade went? What parts are your favorite besides obviously the vets and paying tribute to the vets? But any other parts of the parade that were pretty cool for you?
It's always good. I like the bands. The band always puts me back when I was in high school. So, you know, but it's like the vets are the best. So
They
it's
are
like,
cool. One thing I really like too, in the beginning of the parade, it was one of the bands, the drum and bugle choir went by, and it was Jersey Surf. They are so good. I've seen them before, not just here, but other places in the United States. They rock it. They have so much energy, and maybe it was because they were early in the parade, but that's the kind of energy that the parade brings when you have something like that. I think it's really cool.
But even when it was getting warmer out, the guys and girls in the band were throwing out some steps. So
Yeah, and they were showing some serious steps, especially a couple of the groups towards the end. But Betty, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the flag, too. Happy 4th. Definitely. A safe 4th to everybody. Weather's cooperated. It's turned out to be fantastic getting towards the end of the day now. And what a great parade. The one thing I get to do, and I love working at ABC6, is I get to come here, interview people during the morning, sit back and kind of watch the parade, absorb it all, and then go ahead and talk to some people towards the end of the parade. And right now, I'm done talking. I'm going to send it back over to you guys. That's all right.
Actually, Jeff, if you could stick around for a second. Nope.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Bushman Lumber.
What a parade here in Bristol.
Right.
What a treat today, guys. We saw, how many floats do we see? 14 floats and then 18 bands and drum and bugle corps today. I mean, just incredible.
And so many other little things in there, too, that aren't even included. You know, those are the big features, but there's so many other dignitaries and the scale models of the ships and everything coming through.
Don't forget the Clydesdales.
The Clydesdales, the lobster on stilts, Jenny the juggler. I mean, there's so many things that you can see out here, a whole wide range.
Yeah, one of the things that was a big attraction was one of our bands, actually a drum corps, the Saints Brigade from Port Chester, New York. They came down here early this morning to give us a little sneak peek of their performance. So we want to take a listen to a show that they gave us this morning just before the parade started.
You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Bushman Lumber.
Love it.
That is the Saints Brigade from Port Chester, New York, under the executive director of Frank Barcella.
No, there was quite a performance story.
They're so talented, you know. So they came here before the parade started, and they did that little show for us, so we could get a little sneak peek of what was to come. And you know, so many people came down here to our spot because we do that every year. That we have one band that comes down, so everybody knew. Let's go to Hope and Church for ABC6s, and let's get that little pre-show and get a chance to see a band up close and personal like that.
It was fun. It was fun hearing it. And part of what makes our spot so great is we have a very comfortable place to sit
Relax.
and make ourselves at ease.
I think we should bring this set back to the studio.
Think so?
And have this just be our
Sounds
typical
good.
set, right?
Right?
On nice days, anyway.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe just for the summer months.
On the
I
nice
like
days,
it.
we could do it. Jeff could handle that. We could bring Jeff up, and he could have a hammock somewhere and do the weather.
See, he would be the hammock guy.
He's the hammock guy, and
Yeah.
Jeff is out and about here on the streets of Bristol for us. And what have you staggered into, my friend? What are you doing now? I can't see you there. You look like you're having fun, though.
You know, I am. Everybody's deserted me, though. I mean, I never see a place clear out quicker.
That's
in my
what I
entire
said.
life. Like, it was like, boom, done, gone, see ya. Everyone had to go. But you know what was pretty cool about today, though, was during the parade and stuff, I got to hang out and not only watch the parade, but there was a few people that I talked to on Facebook on a regular basis, and they're so part of our ABC6 community. And it's really cool that they took the time to walk up to us here at Church and Hope just to say hi. And then they were like, you know, I just want to come by and say hi. I'm enjoying the parade down there with my family and friends, but wanted to say hi to you here at ABC6. And I think that's really cool.
That really is nice.
It was. It really made the day for me, you know, and to take the time and do that. And the only other complaint I have is there might be too much sunshine today because
What you talking about, Willis?
I know. I'm getting a little red up here, but I put some block on, so I should be good to go. But, you know, what's nice about a day like today, it's not humid, it's not sticky, the weather cooperated, everybody seems to have a really good time, and it's just a really great community atmosphere to be here. All the people that were taking the time to come up and say hi to us really makes our day, and that's what it's all about. That's what makes this parade and this event and celebration so great.
Jeff, would you say today's weather added to the popularity, if you will, of the crowd size? I thought the crowds were bigger than what we've seen in the last few years.
I did, and I also felt like they were a bit more in tune to what was happening. You know, like on those hot, hazy days, you kind of check out a little bit for a little while.
That's a great point.
True.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, when they were watching the parade, the weather was so comfortable that they were really into the parade, like more so than I remember from last year. And it was kind of cool because every part of the parade, there was no lull. You know, every time something new came by, everybody was like, yeah. And I think the weather had something to do with that.
Hey, did you cover your ears when the militia division came through and they're firing off the muskets? I hope you did. But the little kids covering theirs, and Jeff Denoyer doing as well.
Jeff Denoyer is the little kid during that whole entire event, I promise you. I get freaked out by it. I'm not a fan of fireworks. I'm not a fan of gunshots, obviously, the muskets. Yeah, it freaks me out, and I definitely cringe and hide.
I know you do.
It bothers me.
I'd like to jab you a little bit about that. Hey, I know you love to eat, and just another tradition on the 4th of July. You know Joey Chestnut, the kid that eats the hot dogs every year?
Oh, yeah.
This just in. 72 hot dogs he ate
That's it?
at the Nathan's
I
Hot
don't know
Dog
how I
Eating
feel about
Championship.
knowing that.
72 hot
How many
dogs.
could you do, Jeff, you think?
I'm in training for like 100 right now. Please,
Training.
72? That's
John
child's
Metheny, our
play.
director, says he's got him beat in the truck.
Wait a minute, though. The question is, I have to get a July 4th off
Yes.
to go down there to
there you
compete
go.
in the hot dog eating
That's
contest.
the only reason he still wins, Jeff, because
That's-
we need you here
Right.
in Bristol.
72 hot
Yeah,
dogs.
When your
That's-
training is complete, we'll let you go.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's the only reason
Let's
why
get the
he's
buns,
winning
too,
still.
by the way.
I can't be down there.
All right, Jeff, grab a water or something, my friend. We're going to take a little break from you, my friend, and we have another band. We want a drum corps, to show you, the Saints Brigade.
Yep, we're going to listen to them once more.
Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. You're watching the Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Bank RI and Boschman Lumber. Bristol 4th of July Parade on ABC6, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Today's coverage is brought to you by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses and sponsored by Gill's Appliances, VD Automotive Group, and Monroe Dairy. This has been an ABC6 special presentation, the Bristol 4th of July Parade, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Live coverage presented by Carty's Furniture and Mattresses.
Well, if you can believe it, we have made it to the end of the Bristol 4th of July Parade, the celebration, the 232nd celebration here. And what a day it's been.
It's been just wonderful. Everything from the weather to the atmosphere to the amount of people that came out, just the energy and excitement. It's been a magnificent day.
Yeah, you just feel this overwhelming sense of,
there we go.
Hello. This overwhelming sense of patriotism today. And, you know, there's nothing quite like the Bristol celebration to get you in that right frame of mind. So now you go off, you spend the rest of your day with your family and your friends and doing whatever you're going to do for the rest of the day, maybe check out some fireworks. But you're really, after this parade, you're in that right mindset, where you're supposed to be on this day.
It really is. And there's so many people we want to thank. Obviously, we want to thank the active military members. We want to thank the veterans, the police officers, the firefighters, public safety officials, our sponsors, which we have a long list I'd like to quickly read over because without them we couldn't do this. Tom's Lawn and Garden, iGreen for our set, Boschman and Lumber for our set, Leo's Restaurante for keeping our bellies full, Carty's and Dunkin' Donuts presenting sponsors and coverage sponsors. And really, it's been a fantastic day. But really want to thank you, our ABC6 viewers at home, for spending part of your day with us. We hope you watched from beginning to end. But if not, if you're here and there, that's great, too. We love having you with us. From all of us here at ABC6, for Doreen, Christina, Jeff Denoyer, our crew, which was phenomenal. Tremendous job, John Methia, Don Curtin, and all of us here at ABC6. We wish you a happy 4th. And please enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe, and we'll see you next year. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bristol.
This has been an ABC6 special presentation, the Bristol 4th of July Parade, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. Live coverage presented by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses.